to you. Just a nasty bunch, honestly. What the hell?
When they want to be wicked.
Just like, look at this. It's so bad now.
Are you into big boom?
Keep telling people you have anxiety issues. It's a lie. You are just wicked and mad.
Look, you've done BBL and we're all happy for you. Carry your new bum and go outside.
This is the podcast for you.
I'm not poor. Are you sure? It's because they are vaping. Now everybody's marrying on time.
At your big age.
Wait now. Do you know that I don't have clean pants to wear tomorrow?
I said what I said. The Unsolicited Opinions podcast starts now.
Please, this is a public place. Hello, boys and girls.
Hello, all. Again, this week it's just us. It's just us.
I know you people are so happy about that, honestly. This is when it's just us. What do we talk about? A lot of things. We talked about our trip to Abuja this weekend.
And our friend's wedding.
Yes, we did. We talked about
the Difference She Makes episode with Sibongile Ndashe.
Yes, we did. We talked about you people registering to vote. Voter registration ends on Friday, the 17th. You need to be there. You must be there. Like we can't start this fight for next year.
You must be there.
And register to vote. That's actually the main takeaway. We need to sort this thing out.
Go to cvr.inecnigeria.org.
The website works. Go and check your status if you are registered, if you are not. Please, it's a form. You can actually fill it out. You'll be okay.
cvr.inecnigeria.org.
Please. Oh, you can see what we're facing.
Please. Then we did some dilemmas.
Yeah.
We spoke about being heartbroken. We spoke about what to do when your ex-boyfriend, who was also your pastor's son, is addicted to sleeping with prostitutes.
Yeah, that was very dynamic. Very, very dynamic.
We spoke about facing the reality of being in a situationship.
Yeah.
And we spoke about who would move where if you lived in different cities and both had great careers. So
lovely. Enjoy. Bye. Kilo de. Hello, boys and girls.
Hello, all. What's up, everybody?
Greetings to you people. I don't know. How are you? I don't know.
How is everybody?
I hope you're all well or whatever.
Yeah.
Bro, this year is moving. We're in the middle of April.
The greatest month in the world, I have to say. The greatest month of the year.
I feel like that has passed.
Greatest time of the year. It's just, if I let you guys feel better already.
Not really.
Okay, fine. But your spirit is bad, so.
Not really.
Doesn't matter.
Anyway, what did we do this weekend?
Fabulous things. Lots and lots of things.
Wonderful.
We had a lot of fun this weekend.
We had a group sojourn to
Baba Kekere got married.
For Okiki's wedding, in which about a third of Lagos was imported. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, do you know what's so interesting? He doesn't have anything public facing. His role at work is not public facing. He doesn't have like a big social media presence, nothing. But Okiki is so friendly and so popular. Oh, no, it was honestly so popular.
Wild. Because even at the wedding, I kept bumping his people and I was like, like people that I have met, quote unquote, on Twitter timeline in 2016-17, by their handle, I was greeting them as Okiki's wedding. Wait, what?
Some of them had even left.
Bro, I was like, are you still around? This is crazy.
Well, Okiki maintains friendships with so many people. So the hall was full. And Okiki is any shy woman's worst nightmare in that Okiki is like a dad. So he'll bump into you and you tell him congratulations. Yeah, you're not coming. Dead ass.
It was just so...
He had so many friends there. Yeah. All of us are wearing Ashrabi. It was so crazy. At a point, I wanted to go and remove my ghillie. So I was going out of the hall. And I was thinking like, okay, they were getting towards the end of the wedding ceremony bit. And I was thinking, thank God, people will start leaving. But we were very close to the front. We were sitting right behind the bridesmaids and groomsmen. So I was like, oh yeah, maybe people will start leaving. So I start walking down the hall. And these are all young people. This place is not empty.
It was full. It was full completely.
It was full. And then he's so friendly and he's so good at meeting people where they are, that his friendship group, the age range is really, really varied. And so there's a time he used to work in finance. So he has friends from finance. He has friends from his job now. He has friends he used to work as an NGO as well. So just also, and he's really funny. He's very warm. He's very kind.
I had a great time. It was
so much fun. First of all, I don't know who we were fooling that we all went to found our way to Abuja early on Friday. As if that's what we needed. As if we were so urgently needed.
Friday morning, like this first flights, everybody was out.
We ran out of here, and that was fantastic.
It was a lot of fun. The whole Sunday crew was, well represented.
London branch, Abuja branch,
everybody well represented.
Canada, wow, Lagos.
A lovely time.
It was fantastic.
Playing with your friends, right, for like no good reason. It's just the best.
It is so nice.
It's actually just...
Especially now you guys have a little change.
Yeah, I got home and I was like, wow, this was a wonderful weekend because we just went, all of us were just playing.
Yep, my dad came to look for me. He was like, oh, how was your friend's wedding? And I started going on and on. He was like, I can see you had a good time. I was like, Daddy, I was so happy.
I was too happy.
Brilliant. The only thing that made it somehow was coming back. I think there's something about Nigerians and traveling that they choose to make the process of getting from point A to point B as stressful and as cumbersome as possible. Our airport design makes no sense. So Nnamdi Azikiwe is so uncomfortable. It's so hot. It's really sweaty. Like we're in a very humid country. So what was your plan for like airflow in this place? It's very rough. It's jaga. I need to know what is the process of getting a stall in the airport?
I don't
because some of those shops in the airport, I'm like,
it doesn't make sense because I'm just like,
you are not good enough to be here.
You've not even thought about what people require
or want or need.
Like terrible. You just have random shops here and there.
The
whole thing is terrible. And honestly, Epis must actually crumble.
Nah, you guys, Fegemi had a terrible sojourn.
No, it was horrible. My flight was moved 4 times. By the time I entered the next day and I had to buy different tickets.
On a different airline?
On a different airline just so I could come back home. It doesn't make sense. When I was even on the different airline leaving to go, people that were on Epis were fighting because they announced again. I'm talking about a flight that started from 8 p.m. on Sunday, ending up at 7 p.m. on Monday. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. So what made it funny was her flight was 8 o'clock. We were on the 8:55 on ValueJet. By the time we got to the airport, we knew that our flight was going to be delayed, because the people had just left on an 8:20. So I knew that they have multiple planes, but I knew that we would be delayed because the odds of 2 ValueJet planes landing within a 15-minute window of each other is just unlikely. But I knew that it wouldn't be too bad because they hadn't said anything. So first I messaged FK. I was like, where are you? She was in the other side. So I was like, oh, okay. But first of all, we bumped into our friend that was supposed to be on the flight at 8:20. So we were like, okay, they called his flight share. So we were like, okay, we'll see you. There's something. He left. As that time for us to board, because our flight was now delayed by an hour. So when we were boarding, we now had an announcement for Fekemi's flight at the other terminal that if you're on the airpiece or something, please come forward for refreshments. All of us just told her that, do you know what? Say bye. Mind you, our flight was supposed to be at 8 o'clock. Also, we were leaving at 9:55.
To 10 o'clock, they started asking people.
At 10 o'clock, they said that they should come forward for refreshments.
If they wanted water. There was no news about the flight. But once they said that you should come for, I knew that.
We all just told her.
You're looking at 10 something, 11, no announcements. But you said if they first said the flight was at 10, so 11 o'clock, no announcement. I was like, well, and then I went to ask that what's happening. And they were like, to be honest, if they leave this airport before midnight, he'll be shocked.
So we had landed in Lagos and we text her like, guy, how far? And the was like, yeah, I've left the airport because they told me that we're not leaving before midnight. Now, what's the thinking here? Is she supposed to land at midnight?
That's what I'm saying. Think about leaving Abuja at midnight and getting into Lagos at 1 in the morning.
At 1 or 2 in the morning.
It doesn't make any sense.
Anyway, the moral of this story is to find out who is in charge.
Yeah,
what's the parastatal
really
in charge
to
of
know.
consumer protection?
Because you're supposed to be able, and then you imagine, it's now when I had gotten back, I was now seeing text messages about, okay, basically they were now allowing people to move the flights till the next day. Now you move the flight to the next day, 8:30. They first changed it to 12:35. Then they changed it to 4. Then they changed it to 7. And I was like, just imagine. So none of us have anything that we're doing. You just want to be in Abuja for the whole week.
It's so ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous.
I do think a part of it has to do with the fact that Nigeria still hasn't caught up to like time as money.
Yeah.
Because the lackadaisical treatment of somebody 24 hours, like a whole day, doesn't mean anything, right? You can just be.
And they didn't even,
chilling.
You just be saying due to unscheduled maintenance. I said,
why would you tell somebody that's getting on an iron contraption
that you're doing
flying in
unscheduled
the air,
maintenance?
just winging into the air? Do you know what the problem is? There's something I want to do unscheduled. Excuse me, is it keke?
Then the unscheduled maintenance taking so long that the flight that was meant to be at 8 in the morning is now 7 p.m. And you want all of us to still
happily enter. Nah, it was...
No, I actually don't...
It was crazy.
I don't understand.
Another thing
you just think if you don't have an option, what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do?
And this is not the first time that Epis has really showed us pepper. When we went to Accra for Jake's wedding, we were literally we were at a dinner. And it was that thing of all of us saying, our flight is... Mife came in
and coming up.
We're like, our flight is coming up. Let's just... They couldn't... We're all like, let's not do too much tonight. As we're sitting down there, we just got a text saying your flight has been moved to, as in the day after.
The next day.
So let's say your flight, we're sitting down somewhere to have drinks on Friday. Your flight is on Saturday. They send you a text on that Friday evening that your Saturday flight is now on Sunday. I said, please bring champagne for me. Thank you. I did not even waste. I like when I can't even shout.
You can't. But then when you actually think about it, if you are going to fight, because when I got back, I had to get another hotel.
Yeah.
For that. And you just think, okay, the cost of all these things.
It's on who?
It's on who?
And us, we're talking about it and it's just us as individuals.
Yeah.
What if you had family with you?
Thank you.
Where's all that extra money supposed to come from? What if you had he had friends who flew in. What if one of his friends was like, oh, I'm leaving Lagos.
Like they booked their flight
because my flight is on,
your flight
on
to
Monday
wherever you're coming from is from. That's how you've missed that one.
Is that how? Like, what's the plan? Like all those weird things.
Even if you just have a meeting at work Monday morning, you can't go back on Sunday nights because they've dragged and dragged.
It's so silly.
And if you don't have money to say, forget this flight,
let me buy another.
Because mind you, the new flight is like 200K.
Yep. And flights on Mondays are really full and booked.
Yeah.
Fridays and Mondays, people usually travel for the weekend. There are people who work in different cities and fly a lot. There are people who try. And it was very, very irritating. Another thing I want to complain about is in MM2, the pickup process is laborious and very irritating. So they don't allow cars. There's no pickup.
You can't be picked up from
where
you are. And
it is such and uncomfortable. Again, no design thinking. So you come out and you're dragging suitcases across. They don't, first of all, a lot of times they don't tell you that pickup is not allowed. So you'd have come out with your suitcases first. And then you now see these guys with big sticks and those things that burst tires, threatening drivers. And I'm just like, it's that thing of making sure that your last experience before you leave the airport is as uncomfortable as possible. It's already hot.
It doesn't even make sense that you have to enter a car park to be picked up.
It's such a foolish way to welcome people to the country.
Yeah.
It's so dumb, or to a city. Just this lack of thinking. And I will say it publicly because I'm not afraid of anybody or their dirty daddy. The reason why our airports are so shitty now is everybody flies private.
Yeah, so you don't even come out from there.
All the government officials down to local government chairman fly private. Celebrities fly private. High net worth executives in banks and what they call these things, telecoms and cement companies, all the rich people, they all fly private. So there's no incentive to fix anything.
It doesn't make sense. Look, even in other airports where in Heathrow, you get, if you're being picked up with an Uber or whatever, you get picked up from a car park. But you don't have to go outside.
No, but the process
from
is so
when
simple.
You come out, there's a sign You can see it there. And you move as in with you, everybody is moving in one direction. Here, you come out,
No
you
stairs.
cross a road.
You're not climbing any stairs, right?
You cross a road. When you get there to the other, first of all, there's no clear. You get there, you either climb the stairs or like wait for a cramped, smelly elevator. Then you enter just the car park. There's no real demarcated space for you to be waiting or to be picked up. You now be calling your driver, be dragging with them. I'm at Pole H, Pole B, Pole C.
But is that level 3? It's actually level 2. It's so annoying.
It's so just.
And again, everybody, they're so derelict in their duty. All these stupid thieves, they all fly
it doesn't
private.
make sense.
So they don't care. They don't use
and then
public
the place
facilities.
that has actual pickup, they've designated it to, frankly, theft because the prices of those taxis at the airports, it does. I was walking past, I heard somebody saying, oh, they're going to Ikoyi, they quoted them 40K.
Yes.
I said,
yes.
I actually had to turn around.
Yes. And
I literally was like,
And do you know what they do?
What's happening here now?
And do you know what makes it so awful is a lot of the time people that are doing that don't have very many options, right? They just don't have options. My dad, for instance, is not a big fan of. He's not great at when tech is supposed to completely replace people.
So you won't call an Uber.
So my dad would not be telling. I called my dad the Uber, but again, Nigerian Uber, there's too much. There's still friction there. Right? So it's not like a frictionless.
You have to call, you have to do this. Where they're supposed to be, they're not there.
So obviously, a lot of people will just genuinely, if you have uncles and aunties, I'll say, just don't bother. I'll use a taxi when I get to the airport. And then you hear what they're charging them. And it's like towards end, say the car.
I'm just like, and you want to almost turn around and say to people, don't pay that.
Don't pay that.
That's actually not the price. Don't pay.
Again, I'll say it. Our public facilities are so shit because Nigerian government officials have an attitude and a thinking, and it's even become a bit more global now, that public facilities are not meant to be really good. Public facilities are for people to manage until they can afford private facilities, and that is not true. The same thing is kind of happening in New York, where people are surprised at how much effort Mamdani is putting into like upgrading public services, because I think the thinking is almost like public is for the poor. Don't worry, just manage it.
Once you're rich enough, you don't have to bother.
As opposed
to
the fact that public facilities are for everybody and they're supposed to be at like the optimum they can possibly. Public schools are not a place to cramp the children of the poor until their parents have enough money to pay for private. Public buses are not for poor people until you have a car. Public hospitals are not to just manage to keep you alive until you can afford.
Everyone's supposed to be able to
and enjoy it. Private is supposed to be because you're over-sabbing too much. Public housing is not supposed to be the ghetto until you have money. So get out. It's very, very irritating.
That's why all their offices are just nasty and dirty.
It is so irritating.
You know, the best thing one big madam can have is big standing fan.
Oh, and maybe one Chinese flat screen that they are all watching Hollywood on. It is so, I don't know how to explain. I was looking at it yesterday and I was like, there is no way anybody with a sense of dignity uses a lot of these public.
You can't.
things.
That airport is a complete, it makes wanting to fly, like, because ideally, honestly, you know, just a 1 hour flight away. A lot of people will consider, you just quickly do.
Yes,
no, you can't.
You can't quickly
it's
do
actually
anything.
disgusting to be.
It's very irritating. And I bring that, we're still going to go back and talk about how much fun we had, but I want to use the opportunity to then say, in light of all this ranting, ladies, gentlemen, combination of the two. If you are a Nigerian, young, old, medium, over the age of 18, please go to, what's the website? Because I'm not even trying to.
Go and register to vote.
Register to vote. So I do know what was irritating me if you came in. I said people should register to vote. Someone was not DMing me. This is only possible in a country where it's something. I said, okay, what is your excuse? All these things they are saying, and then you know what I love? When young Nigerians don't want to do something, they start saying, what are the poor?
I'm like, okay, you do your own first.
Okay, you do your own. I said, Baba, what is your excuse?
Because, and again, the last time that we said this, I saw so many comments on the video, voting doesn't work in Nigeria. No problem. But you see, the problem is that first of all, it's not true. Second of all, if you don't participate, there's only so much you can shout now. Everybody say, you're talking about voting, hit the streets. We hit the streets, my dear. We were there.
Divine, please put it in
every 2 businesses. The only thing you can actually do right now
is vote. Vote, please. It is CVR.
I want you to know that if an overwhelming number of us come out to vote, they'll have to really, really work hard to try and change this.
Genuinely. CVR.inecnigeria.org.
Yeah, you have to really work hard to hijack.
Go there.
The thing.
Check if you are registered to vote. Like if you've moved your... So we
there are different things. If you've lost your PVC.
If you need to change your polling units.
Everything. Allegedly, the voting registration ends on Friday, which I think the fact that this is like just becoming louder and louder is also an interesting tactic.
It's a voter suppression tactic.
I don't even understand why
we need to stop pretending.
Would end in April.
In April. Election is in January or February of next year.
Why would it end in April? There's nothing happening that should cause voting registration to end on Friday. So listen, whether it's ending on Friday or not, why don't you immediately
please again, I'm using
go
God
to the website. You will fill a form online and you start from there.
CVR.inecnigeria.org. I am actually begging you.
Participate because they're still issuing at the front. After registration, you still have to collect your PVC.
Yeah, you have to go to the INEC office.
PVC, you still have to vote.
Yeah, so let's start with this one.
So let's just start with this one. If everybody first even registers, at least let your name be somewhere. Let's know that, okay, you can go and drag the next stage of the thing. But sincerely, if you're not, I remember the last election, I was talking to someone and then I found out they didn't vote. And I was like,
this is a waste of a conversation.
I was like, I'm not discussing anything with you about this country.
This is a waste of a conversation.
I said because it's your fault now. You didn't even, you're not here. You're not involved. Don't worry. You don't actually have the right to complain. I don't know how to say it to you because the one you could do, you didn't do it. Now, separate story where we still did it and there's issue. Nigeria is a place of layers of problem. Yep. But I feel like if we can just tackle this first layer, be registered to vote now.
Please.
Just be registered to vote. Let's try, because this thing that people want to happen where all your votes count, it doesn't happen
by
everybody not participating. It doesn't. I don't think people think a lot about, they've already rigged it. Think about the ways in which they step by step to which they try and steal election. You first have to have it so that there are
it's a small gaps. Check.
Yeah. There are gaps in who registered, in who voted, in who said that they are this polling units, who didn't come up. All those numbers that are forged, they don't come out of nowhere. All these gaps.
I'll give you an excellent example. The last elections, right? That's what they call federal elections. The last elections, there was very, very little they could do about Lagos's results.
Yeah.
At federal election because the turnout was more than usual. Yeah. It wasn't actually a great turnout, but it was way more than usual. So they done a lot of mago. They could do some, but still they had to just.
And even still in that election, it was rough here. It was rough here. But I promise you, if there are an overwhelming number of people even voting, that's where the problem.
That's where the problem truly starts.
How do you want to hijack something that everybody is there? Yep. So my best advice to you is that so that we will not be lamenting for another 4 years. Go and register.
Let's start with that part. CVR.inecnigeria.org. Please just go and register. Check.
It's a form. You can fill it.
Do you understand? Just please, if you're a university student, you can change your polling units. Please do it.
Just register.
Hungary just had an election and there was 80% turnout for Kemi. I think they out of 100. I think the opposition won by 129 seats out of 100. Is it 50 something or something?
That's crazy.
People flew.
I saw the video of them dancing.
People flew home. You know, like when people came from other European countries
to come and vote
because they were like, this is actually a bit of a joke. And no, it's that kind of thing where people realize like we run a allegedly representative democracy. The actual strongest immediate thing I can do right now is to choose who makes decisions on my behalf. Now, the person can start making foolish decisions, but let it be my choice.
Let it be my choice. And like, look, you have a very, very valid point. Most of the elections Kuku had, they've scattered it. Nobody can say that what happened is what we saw. But at least let there be a fight to be had.
Yeah.
Let's make it a bit difficult.
Yeah.
But if you just sit around and then just say, oh, you're not going to participate because I promise you, these are lofty ideas and you're giving them way too much credit. These people are not that smart. I have to be frank. They are not.
Yeah. I remember the first time, I won't say the person's name, I'll tell you after. There was a politician I met. And I figured out that the person's strength is Rubodion. Like the person is very good at potentially organizing chaos.
Yeah.
Because in a quiet conversation with him that had so there was no crowd to play up to. There was no way
drama
to obfuscate. Because sometimes if you approach a Nigerian politician as a group, what they tend to do is they bluster their way out of a conversation, right? So they pretend to be busy. They say, you don't understand. They look for a sympathetic face in the audience and engage with that person instead. Use anecdotes that don't have head or tail, etc.
Yeah.
In a one-on-one conversation, I found out that fundamentally I was dealing with somebody that did not think education was important. So personally, did not even invest in it in himself. And so could not answer very simple questions. And I just thought, this is not someone that at a high level. Everything has to remain very crude and base for this person to be able to win.
Yeah.
You can't elevate the process in any way. This is not
if there's no mago, they can't do it.
They can't do it. And so my plea with young Nigerians who are really, really sick and tired of basically feeling like we're now living in a country where we're all just waiting to die. There's small scraps of hope here and there, but we're always into that. Just engage with this part of the process.
I promise you can actually do something. It seemed, look, we had such a low voter turnout last time.
It was so bad.
Man. That was one of the first elections that from the beginning to the end I participated with, they just did not. First of all, the difference even when you look at the funnel from people who registered to people who collected their PVC to people who came out to vote, people just kept dropping off.
Terrible.
So it is in Lagos. I feel like we had I didn't check, don't quote me, but it was like 3 to 4 million. It was nonsense. So no, I'm lying. That wasn't Lagos. But it was, I remember seeing humongous states, quote unquote, like Kano, who had massive voter turnout, and they were like 3 million votes. And I thought, so where are the rest of us?
Yeah,
it was really, the whole election compared to how many, I think it was 20 something million. Again, this is off the top of my head, so please go and do your findings. But it's very, very low for us to be playing this game. And this thing of, people are not, throughout this whole month, there have not been billboards shouting, go and register to vote. Registration is ending on the 17th. And it's because they don't want you to cuckoo know. So that when you now wake up and decide,
let me go and check.
People have started campaigning. They'll say, so sorry, registration. But anyway, we're telling you now, go to the website, fill out the form. I checked it this morning, it's working.
Yes.
I promise you, I actually opened the link.
Do you know what made me laugh? Even showed me how to get to my polling unit.
I'm telling you, it's actually...
I said,
it's working. I actually went to the website, I clicked it. It is functioning now. As in for now, the website is working. There is how to reclaim lost PVC. It's there, don't worry.
I also want to just say something a little bit snarky, but people should not be offended. With such high unemployment, a lot of us don't have much doing.
You don't.
So we have time. We have a lot of time.
You don't. You are free.
You are very free.
Let me just say
all this one that when it's not time to talk, I say, wait, the youth. I know that you don't have too much.
You just see any small thing. We're talking too much. Let's hit the streets. Now. When you go, we'll be at your back. And that's always the problem when you hit the street. You always want somebody to lead. You go, we'll be at your back. You stand in the front here, we'll be at your back.
Yeah, very important.
You can even look, I'm on the website, you can check the status of your votes.
Yes.
You can check if you are registered, if you are not registered. So if they don't know you, you can find out here.
Yes. It's really important, you guys.
I actually checked, I have my PVC, but I just checked, for Banza, just to see. It shows that I'm registered to vote. So if you've forgotten, you don't know. Honestly, it literally says voter registration. This website used to be nonsense. I don't know what
was terrible.
Now it has improved. But you can check your status. Also, there are registration centers. You can go to Lagos.
Visit.
You can go to Lagos and check as in by local government.
I know. It sounds so funny, but I don't play around with my voters card.
Look,
I check it. You know the way people check for their license.
You can go to Lagos.
Every time I buy fuel now, I see that voters card.
Something else is about to irritate me now, because when you check like the registration centers, I put Lagos, I put Etiosa, which is where we are. There's one office that they're showing there. I mean, come on. Look, come on. Just say that you hate me. Let me just know. How can everyone of the whole Etiosa should go to this one place?
Do you know? But the reason why
it's INEC office. Shall go there.
But the reason why they can put that one place confidently is they are not busy.
Busy.
So that's the thing as well. If you go to that INEC office today,
busy.
You'll be gisting with them. Not much is happening.
Look, again, this I saw on the INEC Instagram. They videoed. They said they're doing massive registration. Massive. You know, once any Nigerian public page puts anything like a massive drive. So they're having a massive registration drive. On that page, there are like 3 people holding one registered picture. That I'm very sure that they gave them refreshment. So
I'm
look,
begging.
you guys, they don't look, and this thing is all by design. In fact, it was even postponed because the date here says registration ends March 30th.
Everybody thinks they are wise.
Everybody thinks they're wise.
Yes.
Everybody thinks they're wise. So I think that the one we can do, it is what? By the time this comes out, it will be 2 days left. 3 days. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
No, but the thing about the Nigerian government is they are very wicked.
They're very wicked.
But they are not too crazy.
Yeah.
So the thing is, they are numbers that they will see.
And people start moving.
Isn't that what happened the last time?
That's what happened now. They extended it when everybody started screaming that, sorry, what do you mean you're closing it? So my best advice to you.
Our best.
I promise you, as of this, since last election, I no longer engage in any conversation or anything with people that didn't vote.
Oh, you don't even register to get it. You're a fool. I'm sorry.
It irritating, especially when people think it's from a place of pride or I don't vote. You are not better than anybody.
No, I don't have those conversations.
We are here because of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you that.
I have a little bit of, like, it doesn't change how I see
understand it logically because you're like, it's a stupid system. They're going to rig it anyway. But you see, the more you play into this thing, the more nothing. So let's try a different one. Let's try all of us going out to vote. Let's see what they do. Because that one has never happened. Yeah. So, this is the best that I can. We're coming from the capital. So we have capital thoughts.
Speaking of, I'm tired of ranting about that. Let's get into what we did. So I landed before you though.
Yes, we landed on Friday and then...
I first went to brunch.
Yeah,
with a couple of my friends there at Mars, which is a very, very nice cafe.
So lovely.
It's so beautiful.
The pancakes are honestly stunning.
The food was really,
I didn't have it this time, but like very beautiful.
I really liked it. The Mars cafe was absolutely stunning.
It's also one of the few cafes I'm going to go ahead and, in Abuja, maybe in Nigeria. The coffee is so lovely.
Really?
People just don't get it. They don't know.
My
friends
coffee
are laughing at
me
because my work is to argue with people about... Anyway, when I landed, I went to Jola and Tali's hotel and I asked for coffee and I asked for just a cappuccino. And the guy brought me what I can only imagine was a sachet of... Because
Nigerians don't have coffee culture.
Mixed with hot water. But my question was, when he heard that I ordered the cappuccino and they didn't have it.
Why didn't he just say that?
What's the reason he didn't just say, we don't have that?
I don't know. It's a very Nigerian thing.
I was just like, if you say you don't have it, I can't beat you now.
Yeah, I think we don't really have coffee culture, but then we also have this thing of not even honoring what a thing is meant to be. It's like, Shebi is all coffee. No, it's not. It's not all coffee. So we did that and then I checked into my hotel. I stayed at Pam and Joy's Hotel, Libreville. Fantastic. We loved it. It's so cute. It's small.
It's really cute.
It's a small, cute hotel.
Very, very cute.
And then... we went to Studio 88. Nice.
Yes, that was really lovely.
That was fun.
I did my nails before I went to Studio 88. I went to Tega Salon and it was so funny as I was in... First of all, Tega's he's a very good friend. So as I was in... when I was doing my nails, 2 people were sitting down that I even recognized doing their hair. And 2 other babes came to come and book to do their hair in the morning. Everybody's like, oh, I have a wedding tomorrow. And every time someone else said it, all of us in the salon would laugh.
Yes, now.
Don't worry, the last person that entered here is also going to a wedding tomorrow. So all of us that was super fun. We went to Studio 88 as well. Let me tell you, do you know that? So I've had crutches for like 3 weeks. And I promise you I'm going to become an advocate for the disabled. Because, bro, first, I don't want to talk about the lack of access in the airports. Let me not get into what can make me annoyed. Nobody has thought about this thing.
Yeah, not at all.
It's crazy. No, but like, I just remembered flying now, do you know the number of stairs you climb? Nothing concern them with. And if you're in a wheelchair, the only solution is that's why they kept asking, do you want the wheelchair? And then one of the people were like, if you can walk,
it's better.
Because it's so long. It's still so long.
And parts of it are quite undignifying. So the thing with a lot of places, they put you in the wheelchair, but there is not actually wheelchair access. So there's a lot of carrying.
Yeah, there's a lot of carrying.
People are carrying you up and down if you're in a wheelchair, but they are not necessarily trained to make this as comfortable and as quick as possible. So a lot of times, if you ever see people being carried, you often see there's a look of discomfort. They look slightly embarrassed and a bit uncomfortable because the entire process is not dignifying and it's not well thought out, right? It's just like, let's help this person, but not in a way that gives them ownership of the situation. It's very, very weird. Yeah. Even stairs, sometimes stairs are not a problem, but the stairs they're so steep.
Yeah. And then the last frontier is that obviously you get to the plane and there is the staircase.
Oh,
because for local flights, you don't have that thing where the tunnel.
Yeah. And those are steep too.
Then you just be watching people that have been in vehicles that they've brought with wheelchairs. Then they're trying to carry this old lady or this old man up the stairs. And you're just thinking, guys, stop all this. Come on.
And sometimes the person has clearly not thought about it. So you see, like, maybe if it's an elderly woman, like, she didn't wear trousers, so she's in like a wrapper or a skirt. And
oh my God.
Maybe it's supposed to be like the strongest man that carries her. You can see that she may not be necessarily comfortable. Like, the entire thing is
there are so many random things. Funny enough, I was laughing because I had my crutches and I sat next to an older man that came in a wheelchair but then had a walking stick. And so the guy was like, he's going to put our sticks in the front somewhere. And so, of course, we landed. And the man was like, luckily they even put us in the front because the man was like, okay, like,
my stick.
I want to go. We were just there. They were doing all sorts of things. Everybody now. He was like, first of all, me, I even booked business class. So you even disembark me first. I can even move. Give me the one person, don't know where the other person puts it. I just thought,
just very irritating. The entire thing is irritating.
It just didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense.
People will build all these 4, 5, 6 story, because Abuja has lots of malls that are like that. No elevator. It's just endless stairs.
And you're just thinking, even babes in heels, how do you undo this thing?
And I think it's a national mindset thing where you automatically associate, where you equate disability with poverty.
Yeah.
So it's like disabled people are all beggars. What are they coming to the mall for? What are they coming to a restaurant for? How would they even enter airports? Right? And you can tell that's what the thinking comes from. At the point where they are designing something, they're only thinking of the elderly. It's like you are a young, sprightly person that would love nothing more than to carry suitcases up and downstairs. They don't think about ease, right? They just think about, let's shall build something. So that was annoying. Then what else did we, then we went to, the drinks, they are very, very good.
So Studio 88 has
Jody's big one.
Raspberry margarita. It was so beautiful.
Wow.
It was so
what a time.
Beautiful. And let me tell you my favorite part. We're having the time of our life. Somebody came and paid our bill.
Yes.
You guys, as greedy goats, as we discovered that, like, one of our friends just came to say hi and as he was going, unbeknownst to all of us, he carried the bill
wow.
paid it. So when we went out, he paid his own bill. When we were not asking for our bill, and we were like 6, we were asking for our bill, and they were like, oh, he has. All of us are now like, I could have ordered more if we had known. I said, this is why they don't help people, because...
And it's so funny because I clocked pretty quick.
Yeah.
So I started telling our other, because he knows me and FK quite well.
Yeah.
And he's met like one or two of our other friends. I told them, and then when they were taking him the next day, you could see he looked so shy. I said, why are you shy? My sponsor, you can't be shy. We have to tell everybody. And then the next day was the wedding. Fakemi is, let me tell you something I like about Fakemi. Fakemi takes like these things so serious. She told me, first of all, I don't know who told Okiki we are in the Garden of Eden. He said he's doing outdoor wedding. I said in Abuja, inside heat. I said the way I love you, you will live stream it too. You will stream that. Wow.
But do you know, it's funny because a lot of us were not talking about this thing. I just kept saying, you guys were adults. You have to go to the wedding ceremony.
No.
Because like as an adult, these are the things that like as adults, you go to the actual church ceremony where people marry.
I go and I cry every time. Inside it. No.
I said, when we were younger, you go to the reception after party, but like as grown 30 plus.
I agree.
As we're approaching mid-30s.
I really enjoy it. But you see, once I saw let me tell you what happened. I was even going to film it. But when I went to do my nails, I had a short sojourn from the mall to my car.
Yeah.
And then from the car into the hotel. You guys, the heat. I don't know how to explain to you. Like, I got into my room and I was like, it's so hot. It's hot. The way it's hot, it's hot. And the person I was talking to was just looking at me like, yeah, I heard you the person I said it. I said, no, you don't. There's heat and then there's heat. It was so hot. But Fakemi is a trooper. Fakemi and John are troopers, because I don't know who John thinks he is, that he wore a 3-piece suit somebody else is wearing.
Yeah, let me know that. And the thing is, because ultimately it was a trad, we were going to change, but he really needed to wear that suit for that 1 hour.
He kept talking about it as
badly, well. Like he kept talking about the suit. And to be sincere, the suit was very nice. He badly needed to wear that suit. And then I had the unfortunate pleasure of having to take 2.5 million pictures of him inside the suit, considering that we were changing immediately to trad. But so we went, and let me know that, it was a beautiful service. But it really made me rededicate my life to Jesus.
Because hellfire?
Anything hellfire, I can't make it to.
No, that hit was crazy.
Urumu, forget it. Stupid and bastard. It was just like when and they had the parasols. So thankfully, the sun was not on your head. But it was so funny when we got to a point where the pastor was preaching. I couldn't see his notes anymore because his phone started doing temperature warning.
No, it was
so he had to put the phone down and just freestyle the rest. That's when I was like, look at how hot.
No, it was hot too. I do want to say something. I didn't sleep the night before my flight, and then I ate. So when you get the itis, and I was so tired. So I was doing my nails. I went to a place called Sugarcoat, and I was doing my nails, and I dozed off. And I woke up and the guy was doing my nails. His name is Ayo. He was like, you're tired. You're tired. I said, I am. But they were really, really professional in their room. And that's why I want to shout them out. Because normally we go to Tega's salon. But my friend booked Sugarcoat, and it was the service there. The 2 guys who did my nails, I can't remember the other guy's name. One of them was Ayo. If you get there, just tell them that you're looking for Ayo from Ibadan. If you want to do...
Why on earth do you know that?
Because I was just with him, and he was like, he used to do hair before, but he got a bit bored of that, and he wanted to learn, like he's very good at handwork. So he wanted to learn to do nails. And he did. So please, if you go to Sugarcoat, tell them that you heard Ayo. You want to do Bayab. Ayo from Ibadan. Yes,
it's funny because I went to Tega. She has a salon hair by Tega, and I went in, and so I was doing my nails, and the manager kept looking at me that now, wow. So you don't do your hair. And I just thought it's true, I don't ever come to Abuja.
Do your hair, yeah.
I was not feeling somehow. I said, okay, maybe they should call it Just so that it's not, but it was really lovely. This was my first experience of the technology
spray. They gave fake everyone spray paint
of an spray nails.
Technology.
Serious tech. They didn't paint my nails. It was an airbrush.
You see,
serious.
you know what I personally think?
Serious technology.
Whoever wins the next elections, hopefully the person like that I want to win it. He knows himself. I really think that in terms of technology, if he wants this country to move forward, he needs to talk to ladies in the beauty industry.
He does, because they are doing many. When I saw it, I was just like, you guys, what's happening?
The Nigerian beauty industry, they don't waste time in adapting to whatever is the world standard.
Because the way the guy was even using it, you could tell that like, this is not even for my specific benefit. This is just normal. Like he was like, yeah, in a hurry now. So don't worry. Let me just quickly do it. And so that I won't have to be painting. I'll just quickly do the spray. I said, now, and we were not in Lagos. So the spray they didn't charge me 100K because of the spray.
Yes.
Because I know that if it's on this side, that you see signs, you'll see wonders.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was really fun. And then we went studio and then
we have to do something. Okiki's wedding. You guys. The only thing that I enjoy now at weddings is if the couple does their own.
Thank you very
vows.
much. This is where I'm getting to. I need you to understand, first of all, that the nature of the friend we have is his vows, they brought out a scroll.
Like a real life scroll.
Ancient parchments. They opened it like this in front of Kiki, who on a normal they cannot see. I want to just point out that his eye is having an issue.
No, I'm not actually making fun of him.
I'm
genuinely. His eyes aren't great.
They brought out
a real life scroll. Like what commandments?
And Okiki's speech was so long that there were two. Anyway, he brought out his vows. All of a sudden, our dear friend,
Shakespeare.
I just started hearing the love he has for her is visible to the blind, is audible to the deaf. Money.
You know when you come in, the next thing I hear, and you smile. Oh, that smile. I said, the one I'm sure you're smiling right now. I said, okay, that's all that they do for you.
You honestly, you should have seen us. We're just looking at ourselves in everybody's like, what's happening right now? I said, sir, is this what you're telling people?
Yes, so I'm sure she was smiling this man.
No, I mean, I was just like, wow.
It was very sweet.
And what it made me realize, we were laughing about it after, is that I would be very embarrassed, I think, to read the messages that my friends send to people they like. I'll die. Because just listening to him do his vows, it was like we were babies. We were dying of laughter.
Yeah.
It was so funny because I was like, this is unreal. There is no way this pouring out of your heart. You can't be real with this thing that you're saying.
This reminds me of somebody I know. We weren't close at the time, but when we became close, he said he remembers his wife. He's not an emotional guy, really. Obviously, he's very, very emotional with his wife, but she had an accident and he didn't have any scope of what the accident was. But the person who called her didn't know her. Just said, okay, you need to come fast. He said he burst into tears in the car. So he told his guys, he didn't know, and he was so anxious. So he had messaged his guys in the group chat, and two of them came at the hospital when he got there. And they said they were so shocked to see him crying because he said it wasn't even like those dignified cry. That he couldn't talk, that he doesn't, because they were trying to ask him. He said he doesn't know that it wasn't even her driver, that they said her driver is in emergency room. So he didn't know what was happening. So his wife only had, her leg was damaged. So he said they wheel her out. And one of his friends said, you see now, she's okay now, stop crying. And he said it was so funny that his friends didn't even have it in them to make fun of him because they were like, if this guy is crying, it's the end of the this cannot be a normal. So whenever you see if you have a friend, particularly funny people, when you see them being like serious, emotional and loving, and not at work as well, like in that context, it is so shocking. But we're just so also our friendship group is so childish.
We're actually so childish.
Obviously,
it doesn't make
we had to laugh,
but it was very beautiful. Very beautiful. It was quite.
And she looked amazing.
She looked stunning. She looked stunning.
Beautiful.
Like I was like, how in this heat are you not like?
Afoke looked
melting
so
away.
Beautiful. And she's a smiley babe. She's always smiling. She has a very smiley face.
Yeah.
So she just looked so happy and so beautiful. It was wonderful. It was so beautiful.
It was really, it was a lovely one. And then we got into the reception and things.
The party of all parties.
Yeah.
Nah. That, every time, because when I said to my mom, that he's very popular, my mom was looking at me like, coming from you. I said, no, mom, you don't understand.
Trust me.
At least I can say that I have, all my work is media facing. So it makes sense that, he is a popular jingle. His colleagues, some people invite their colleagues, maybe one or two.
They won't come. Everybody.
Senior colleagues, junior colleagues, his mates, they were there. What should it be? And Abuja is quite conservative. So plus hijabo, plus full
everything.
They were all there and they danced and they had a really good time. It was a lot of fun. But of course, Okiki must use the opportunity to insult people. Like
you guys, I just want you to know that when this man was dancing into his after party, one of his groomsmen, and I know this was a special request by him, introduced them. First of all, they had people that were playing with fire. I just want to tell you that in the context of Nigeria, after it was like 5 minutes, I wanted to tap them that, Joe, please just take it easy. Some people are wearing synthetic hair. If everywhere catches fire, a lot of babes are burning down. So you just need to be quite careful. Flammable materials all over this hall. Anyway, as those ones finished, the couple was coming. I just saw the groomsman carrying a big sign, your mates are marrying. I said, God, even inside the day of your marital bliss, you can't leave the rest of us alone.
Yeah. All
we
of us
must be reminded.
Yeah, it's like David, but times 10. No, Okikela is actually worse. All of us, his friends, were like, oh my God, bro. So obviously, like how the couple will come around. We're like, oh my God, bro, congratulations. He said, God will do it for you. I said, you know what? The thing is that now she's actually your wife.
Yeah,
so
now we have a lot of
we have
things.
to respect you in front of her. Any small thing, you say, God will do it for you. Shake me, God will do it for you.
It was
so much fun. The party was excellent. We just had the DJ. I don't know the name of the DJ, but he was very good.
We had a great time.
It was a delicious time. Then Sunday we went for boozy breakfast as usual.
I had no breakfast. And again, most people, they marry, they go into seclusion. And not a kicker though.
Who did we see?
He said everybody's having brunch.
I'll be there. I'll be there. He bounced into the place, happy and joyous. Again, admonishing us that God can really do it for us. If we put our mind to it, we should just believe. And God will do it for us. So we had a great brunch. And then we
went to Okiki's house.
He went to his house. He pushed more souvenirs on us.
And so while we were at brunch, Africa called him. And I think she must have been like, oh, maybe get this man. Most people just say, oh, okay. Story, your husband will get it for you. I just thought, look, why in a big problem here?
Just tell it to your husband. He'll sort it out. Your husband will sort it out for you.
I thought is the person you're talking to. Why are you announcing it to the rest?
But on another note, I do appreciate men being excited to be married.
I think so. I think it's a lovely. Nice, it's change very nice. Of pace.
It's very nice. And
to not look like as in they drag you into
they drag you, you're reluctant.
Yeah.
And one of the sweetest things he said it that he's always wanted to be somebody's husband. And he wasn't saying it to be, he's like, this is a life goal for him. He wants to have a family and he wants to be married. And he treated it like a serious thing. Not that somebody was dragging him, they forced him, oh, I'm at that age now, I must marry. I thought that was very, very sweet.
Yeah.
And then another sweet thing that happened was Pekemi forgot her own, and because I'm a good person, I actually brought it back for her today. But Amy's Treats brought us a box. We've spoken about her before.
You remember that she gave us some goodies, and
let me tell you what you have to look forward
we were
to.
deceiving ourselves. We just thought, let's just taste it. It might not be there. Now people just give you things. In that airport, we were finishing. So I thought about it yesterday that way too. I forgot.
No, I brought it for you.
Something. I was not thinking, did I leave it in the apartment?
You left it in Okiki's house. So we brought it for you. Let me tell you what's in this box, because my family have already started demolishing it. She gave us like lemon and poppy seed. Cake, fantastic.
Once I start hearing all this lemon poppy seed, I'm very, very excited. Anything, because people that are not that have passed all this vanilla.
Then she did Biscoff slices as well. Excellent. And then the brownies, very good. Too good. I've even hidden those ones in my house. And milk chocolate chip cookies.
Good. I'll start my fitness journey tomorrow.
Really, really good.
Around afternoon.
And then unfortunately we had to come back, and I'm just not been smiling.
I kind of wish I stayed longer.
A little, yeah. I really like being in Abuja.
I do.
I really do. I really love it. I like hanging out with my friends there.
It's just
I like the
nice.
pace.
Let me tell you what it is. It is so in between his ceremony and the reception, I went to 3 places. So we went back to the house, babes, now we needed to adjust one thing. Driver took John went to change, came back, and I just thought, this can never happen in Lagos. No. In this 1.5 hour time frame, you cannot do this many trips and still be on time for your event in Lagos. The way the traffic, everything will hook you. Everything was just 10 minutes, 15 minutes away. There were only like super, super tiny pockets of traffic, and everything else was very easy. So had a blast. Can't live there, but
shout out to Pamela.
Always a lovely time. Yeah, she
me around.
She did us well.
She did me well. I love her.
Yeah, lovely, lovely one.
All right. Okay. Good. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Sorry?
I just remember.
Sorry?
I just remembered something. I just thought of something. If your partner had a life, like their whole actual life, they make a shit ton of money in Abuja, they own a home in Abuja, same thing in Lagos, what's happening?
Should I be honest?
Be very honest.
Or I should do demo for the podcast?
Tell the truth first, then you can lie after.
The truth is that really I will drag the Lagos thing, but I will make it as if I'll have to find an angle that makes it seem as if it's better for us
to be in Lagos.
That is just.
I think
it's different because you said I also have things going on, but the truth is, even if I do have things going, it's a bit tough.
If I was in my 20s, I would have moved. But now if I didn't,
because the what you just said is I also have
this
house, I also have money. So it's not as if I have a job that I can just up and move. If you did, then to be honest, there's only one sensible option.
Yeah. But you're both very established where you are.
I can't we'll have to drag it to this side.
Yeah.
We'll have to drag it to this side. It's just not realistic for me to move to Abuja. It's not realistic.
As much as I like it, I was thinking about it yesterday.
But in these things in general, I always think that what you have to look at is who can even move.
Yes.
That's the truth.
What's feasible.
The truth is that you have to look at what is feasible. So one person might have a job that's, as in, there's nothing, there's some jobs that you can move and you'll still be in your industry, you'll still whatever. Or you might have a business but that's what it would come down to in the end, honestly. And it would have to be, but we will drag it, but it would have to be, if I'm being perfect, it would have to come down to who can actually, I would never accept the argument of, my husband wants, that's business. Yeah, because it's my husband, he should be the one to move. That's business. My house probably nicer than his.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's all about who can actually move. If I can move and your thing is more stuck in place, for the next 2 or 3 years or whatever, this is what you're doing and we can't go anywhere, or you work in a role that you have to be in this office. It's not like you can move around, then this is not a tough situation because realistically, one of us, and the thing I will say is one of us has to move.
Of course.
I'm not doing
long distance.
I'm not doing it. I realize that I don't have it in me.
But okay, in terms of long distance, how long is too long to, why do you say him like that? How long is too long? So like
to date someone, to marry?
No, so I have a friend who, him and his wife's agreement is he travels a lot for work.
Mm-hmm.
Their agreement is, because of the nature of his job, he doesn't do 2 weeks away from home.
Okay.
More than 2 weeks away from home at any time.
Yeah.
And if he has to do 2 weeks away from home, they will come and meet him at some point. When my dad worked in a different state, he came home every single weekend. That was my mom's non-negotiable.
Yeah.
You come back home, we're not doing 2 weeks. We did not say you must come home every single weekend. If you had to do it for like, it was clear that this is very short term, like this is a 7-month or 1 year thing. What would your version of that be?
Yeah, so I have, funny enough, my uncle used to live in Abuja for like a contract period, and then his wife, he's come home every Thursday, come back to Lagos. That's what I'll do. They couldn't even make it to shows like for Friday is even, because there's things, there's rocks on Friday.
Yeah.
So like you can't be coming in late, if you arrive at 9 p.m. We are where we're going to Thursday evening like this.
Yeah, I like that.
Monday morning you're out. I would do that. But yeah, I don't think I would stretch it.
Because it's also like a big cost.
Yeah.
But the family needs it. I think the thing I've always been worried about, again, the older I get, is I really like my own space, and I've realized that I enjoy doing things by myself. The only way for a relationship to work for me now is I shouldn't get used to being without you.
Yeah.
Because once I have a schedule and a routine without you, as much as I love you, you become something that scatters my routine.
Yeah.
Your presence is now like, this is how I do my thing. And while you're here, I'm making exceptions. And I think once people get into that mindset, or that, because my friend did it, his marriage, his children started acting like he was a visitor. Like a nice uncle that would visit. And that's when he realized, like, this is
a lot. And also for me, I mean, to be frank, look, I'm 33. I'm getting married now. It is because like I want to be spending time with you. What I'm doing now is like I'm actually happy in my life right now where I'm not spending time with you or with anybody. So if we're getting married and the deal in the marriage is that, as in, I will now be hustling for time together, what's the difference is what I'm doing now? We might as well just leave it. So for me, it cannot work.
Yeah.
One thing must come down. Yeah. And I think when people hear things, like someone was saying to me that, okay, but just like the example you gave, in this example you gave of what both are, there will be opportunity cost. Something 100%. Will give. But personally, for me, this is the reason that you marry somebody for whom something given is
worth it.
Net worth it.
Yeah.
Because if you are very stupid, then I married you, then I'm giving up my life, you are giving up your life, you are moving, we'll be so annoyed.
Yeah.
Because it's not that worth it. Like, it just feels like I don't want to make all this effort for this person who I don't know who you are to me or whatever. So
yeah, I saw you.
Yeah, I just, the distance thing, especially early on, I don't believe in it.
Yeah, I think it's good to
I don't believe
build routine around each other.
I think the thing I just don't agree with is that automatic thing of
the woman is moving.
I'm actually not moving. I'm most likely not moving.
No. I saw something a little bit sad this morning. I saw a babe who was talking about so she married someone. They had been together for a while, but within the marriage, he changed very quickly. And
she changed or
he changed very quickly, and in the most negative ways possible. So it started off with arguing, but it quickly devolved into like a physically abusive relationship. And so she left the marriage, and they live abroad, and she bumped into her ex-husband on the train, I think, or the bus or something. And throughout the ride, they were avoiding making eye contact with each other. But the whole thing for her was, she was doing well and she is doing well, but seeing him made her think of all the things. So they've been divorced for a little while now, but all the things that they had planned to do around this time, and how she doesn't regret the divorce or anything, but it was just a thing for her, like, oh shit, like I had plans with this person.
It's just a bit of a shame.
I planned the whole life with this person. And I wonder if And I started looking online to see if people have written, people who have gotten divorced have written about that sort of thing
like
before.
the life you lost.
The life you lost, and maybe you get to certain points or you see certain things that make you think of that that potential life that you no longer have. And she kept reiterating that before people start messaging her, she's actually very happy, but seeing the person made her think, oh,
this is just how things
true.
could have been.
This is March of this year, and the plan was to own. You know, we had put money aside to own and all that kind of stuff, which was sad. But I'm very happy for her because it wasn't one of those marriages where it ended because there was something vaguely wrong. They were unhappy, but he was beating her. Yeah, and he was
that one. You have to go.
Yeah,
there's
you
nothing.
have to.
There's
go.
actually there's no second discussion.
Yeah,
around.
But I also wonder what it's like to because we're so complex figuring out
to miss a life. Not
missing a life, but someone wronged you. Someone has done something wrong. How your mind is able to, on the one hand, be like, this person, this is the bad thing they've done, or they continue to do, and this is part of how I knew them, and I missed that part because I was watching a YouTube video she's a lawyer. I'll get into what she was talking about, but a big part of the thing I found interesting was, okay, let me just, so that I don't make a mistake. So her name is Sibongile Ndashe. I'm so sorry, South African. She's a lawyer. And there's this series called The Difference She Makes. And it's on a YouTube channel. We'll put everything down, called Legally Clueless. But before we even get to, because she was talking about a lot of interesting things, but the main thing that I found interesting was, the question was, how do you hold space for someone while holding them accountable? And the story she was telling was, a friend of hers had passed recently, which was sad and difficult. Yeah. But around her death, there was also financial mismanagement. Right. So basically, I think, I don't want to put words in her mouth, but I think the way I interpreted it was that her friend had financially mismanaged like a company or stolen some money, or defrauded in some way. And it was around those circumstances that she also passed. Yeah. And while she was so disappointed and hurt and incredulous that how could you do such a thing, it was still her friend, right, that died. And one of the difficult things as an adult right now, in the age we live, particularly in the digital age, is figuring out how to do both of those things
at the same time.
Like, I love you as a sibling or a friend or a parent, but you've done something bad or you've done something wrong. Some of it might be like actually bad. Yeah. And some of it might be like something I morally disagree with. So you have people who have friends who have treated partners badly, cheated on their partners, or they stole money, or, you know, they are physically violent or something like that. But then they also know the person in a different capacity. And I found it interesting because she was much more elegant in her phrasing and she was able to put her points across in a fantastic way. But I just thought, I started thinking about
like, how do you do that kind of thing? It's difficult. And I think one of the more difficult things is to not overextend on one side or the other, like in the moment. Where I think typically what happens in that situation, and where I think, I know that where I get strong is that I don't know, it's sometimes in the recognition of this person does something bad, you kind of overextend on that. Okay. And forget that, okay, fundamentally, this is a person you love or whatever. The balance is very difficult because if you then move the other way of not holding them accountable, you've also done them a disservice. I don't know. I think it's a dicey one. In this particular case, it's also made more dicey by grief. Yeah. So the whole thing is like muddled and... yeah, but a bit weird. I really want a lot of, so the entire series, Difference She Makes, I really would like a lot of women who are in the like justice
policy making side of things to watch it and engage with it. But I also want young Nigerian lawyers, particularly women, I know lots to watch it. Because the discussion that she was having, I really, really appreciate. And the question was around basically like, how do I say this without using too much English? I'll have to use too much English. But the question that they asked her was, where have you seen women in leadership create accountability and dignity in your community, your organization, or your country? And she runs an NGO called the Initiative for Strategic Litigation in Africa. And the work they do is figuring out how feminist legal strategy, institutional reform, and continental accountability happen. And her whole thing at the moment is how laws are currently inadequate to protect African women, particularly
especially at home
and with African Union conventions. So technically, the European Union governs a lot of what happens in Europe.
Yeah.
The African Union is still finding its feet in the degree of how much
control or say it
has in individual African countries. But her biggest gripe at the moment is the fact that the African Union Convention on Ending Violence Against Women and Girls, that convention is not strong enough.
Yeah.
The word she used for it is nonsensical. She said it's nonsensical and that there are lots of legal flaws because it hasn't caught up to the reality that women are living with day to day.
Yeah, so basically a lot of things done to women at home are not considered to be crimes.
Yes, but then also she said even like now in Africa, we're still catching up to what we were talking about last week, tech-based violence against women. In the EU and America, it might not be enforced as much, but they actually have a framework.
Even intimate partner violence.
They have a framework.
There's a lot that we don't understand, that your husband can still commit certain crimes to you.
Yeah, she said you reach Africa now. Well, what do we have? well.
It's not even there.
What do we have here? And I just thought it's interesting how she was able to talk about it, frame it. I liked how she explained that she was a lawyer almost by force. So the way she grew up also affects how she sees and engages with the law. So basically it was that at the time she had the opportunity to go to university because of apartheid. Lots of Black people just didn't have the opportunity to go to school. So when the opportunity came, she wanted to be a designer. At the time, if you wanted to learn to sew and stuff, it was a vocational college. But vocational colleges then aren't what they are now. So her parents, you don't really get recognition or degree. And her parents are like, I'm so sorry. This opportunity is here. We're not going to waste it on you going to a vocational college. She wasn't good enough at math or science to become a scientist. So, and they said she liked to argue when she was a child. So you're going to become literally. But she said that some of that disdain means that she engages the law with skepticism. Yeah. And not that she doesn't respect the fact that the law is important, but she engages with it as something to wrestle with. And I just enjoyed how they're talking about it. Then there were some parts of it that gave me strong jealousy. So she said in 2014, she wrote he was a professor at Columbia. Yeah. She had an idea and she wanted him to help her build out a framework she had this idea around what would become her NGO. So the guy helped her basically
put it together.
And then she had a day where she went around begging for money. In a month and a half, she had pledges of $1.5 million to help her figure out how to build out this framework. So I think they are in South Africa and Kenya and they are doing so much work. But what I really was jealous of was the fact that at the time, the world was just so much more open to those kinds of ideas and that kind of funding. And so
I'm very glad to hear that something like this, where what she's pushing for is so specific.
Yes.
It's so specific to, I'm trying to make it so that laws for African women in Africa are relevant in that they protect them in their houses and you can get things behind
because
that.
Because the entire point is that if the law, which is a tool, that's supposed to protect you, is broken, there's nowhere else to go. And that our job or her job is to explain how and why this tool is broken and figure out how to fix it. Because in any working society, once the law fails you, you have nowhere else to go, right? You now have to go outside of the law.
Yeah.
And you put yourself in more trouble.
Yeah, and that's where dangerous things start to happen,
particularly for women. So I liked that. And then the other things that she spoke about that I found really interesting was she was talking about like what it means to be like a leader in a feminist, to have feminist ideals in leadership, and beyond it being a buzzword, how does it work? Again, another thing I really, really liked that she explained was when she first started, they would have these like almost like round table meetings, and people would come and pour out their hearts and talk about what they had gone through. And she said at a point she realized that they were just regurgitating heaviness.
Yeah.
She was trying to create this space for openness, but it wasn't really actually allowing people to
be
move
open.
forward.
Yeah. It's just, you're just kind of dwelling in the thing.
Piling on and dwelling in the thing. And so she had to rethink that. She spoke about how sometimes people think they've built community, but they haven't. They're just in a group.
Interesting.
And so the community doesn't show up for you and you're upset, but it's that you actually haven't developed community in that way.
You just have an audience.
You just have an audience.
People that they have one thing in common, and that's why all of you are standing next to each other.
Exactly. So it was a very, very, very full-bodied conversation, but it made me think about in Nigeria, for instance, like what does that work look like and who is doing it? Because a lot of our laws are inadequate to protect women. We still argue about things like, we still debate like property laws, inheritance.
Bro, even getting divorced is not straightforward.
Yes,
like the court is still more or less encouraging you to go back and figure it out, almost regardless of like the situation.
Intimate partner violence, violence against women in public spaces, at work, all that kind of stuff. And it just made me, I think it's a really, really important.
I won't say kind of who I saw it or where I saw it, but I saw a post maybe like a week ago, and it was about a babe talking about, she wasn't even giving a specific thing. She was talking about what a former partner had done, blah, 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 sexual assault. And I just saw in all the comments, so many guys being like, oh, we don't believe you. Is this another... They were naming somebody who recently has lied about. They were like, oh, is this another so situation? And kicking and laughing. And I just thought, man...
our road is far.
The road is so... There were droves of men commenting, that's how this one will come and lie. And I just was like, do you know where we're starting from? Where she was explaining a situation. She wasn't even, there was no name there. She didn't even, she wasn't even calling the person out. She was basically saying, people think this doesn't happen, but this happened to me. And all these men were saying, oh, how do we know she's not lying? And I just thought, why is that the first thing that you're thinking about?
Yep.
It was crazy.
Yep. I think it is interesting how you raise individuals. And this just doesn't have to do with when it comes to men and sexual violence or intimate partner violence or physical violence or verbal violence against women. But I think we need to look into or start thinking about publicly, grappling with the psychology of how we raise Nigerians to think clanishly. And by clanishly, I mean, it might be your tribe, it might be your gender, it might be your faith. But you automatically, there's something wrong where you automatically find yourself standing in, you stand in the shoes of the perpetrator. So, and I think it's a problem we have as Nigerians. So at the moment, our president is Yoruba. You talk to people and you are unhappy with the government. And there's some people whose first instinct is to say, as a Yoruba person, I want to defend, not because I agree.
Just because of this random ass commonality.
But this commonality means I have to, or someone will say, but he's a Muslim like me, so I need to stand in his seat. Or somebody will say, he's been, he's a father like me, so they have to stand in that. And that kind of clannish thinking is something that you see all the time. You might say, oh, you didn't enjoy a meal you had at X, and all of a sudden people are standing in the role of the person who has done wrong. You find it with men as well in terms of sexual violence. So their first instinct is to stand with as a man.
I just don't understand. Like nobody's accusing you of anything.
And it's clannish thinking, and it's something that it's a problem we have in 1960 something when Lee Kuan Yew was trying to figure out how he wants to build Singapore. In essence, he came to Nigeria.
Yeah.
And one of the things he mentioned was he cannot understand how tribal we are. And so progress is difficult because people think in terms of tribes as opposed to
in terms of a country.
In terms of the country. And it happens all the time, but in different ways.
Yeah.
So America is having a big issue at the moment because people are clannish about ideology. So they're not class conscious. So you have one person protecting or supporting another white person. But the only commonality you have is whiteness. And the policies, ideas, belief system that other white person is protecting is the
they don't actually align.
Wealth.
Yeah, they don't align with yours.
But rather than be class conscious and think, I need to vote along the lines of what's best for my demography.
You've just used
my pockets. Yeah. You use the other more obvious thing that the commonality is fake. It's not real. Bring me to another discussion I had.
Sorry, before that, as an aside, did you guys catch that you people's president said that at least you're not like other African countries where they are suffering more? I think people. He said you will feel it like you want to die. But you will not die.
I think one of the advantages that Nigerian government officials have, genuinely, is that people's spirits are so broken down and our pockets are so beaten up that Nigerians, on average, actually not as exposed as we would like to think. Because if you see people who travel for the first time, and not to the West, to other African countries, go on TikTok. I know TikTok is a lot more popular these days and the algorithm searching is much easier there. If you listen to this podcast, please just go and watch videos of people who travel for the first time to Benin Republic, to Kenya, to Abidjan, to Togo, to just watch their attitude
to like little things.
To little things and their realization. The Nigerian government of the day, first of all, has this xenophobic tint where they talk about other African countries like they are not
like
our
as if we're
peers.
better than them.
And it's that foolish blindness. But it's not even blindness. It's taking advantage of people's lack of knowledge, right? You know that a lot of people you are talking to don't actually know any better.
And
they
so
don't know.
When you're whining them with this, they can't turn back and tell you
that no, that's not true.
Actually, I've been to some of these countries.
And that's just not true.
And I understand some of the things you're saying, but they have working electricity. You know, we laugh, we drag our crowd up and down. They have lights too.
They have lights. At the very least.
They have lights. So, you know, so there's a way I argue with my Ghanaian friends that I don't talk too much because that thing will always come out. We could have lights.
But it's the same. See, we just, you know, Egypt, Kenya,
like at least when you come out of their airports, things are a bit organized. There are just so many small little things that you can point to.
I think it's such a apart from it's a blatant lie, I think
it's a lie. It's also a bit of a slap in the face.
I think it's also it's the word indecorous of a sitting president to not have the wherewithal to understand that that's not something you say.
He can't even read the room to say, oh, I know fuel prices are high.
No, before you even get there, as a president in an African country, you shouldn't be insulting other African
it's
not
countries.
Something
you should not be using
don't insult your neighbors
at least
or your friends and allies in that way. That's not something you say on a public platform. It's very ill thought out.
It should be the people that voted him and said is the master strategist.
It's it doesn't make any sense. There's no need to speak like that. And again, I think this is also part of a wider global problem, something that Trump has normalized now.
Yeah. When you talk, or you just saying it. You just say anything and there's no consequence. Because I looked at that video and I looked in the room and I said, you know, if we had even a political class that, let's even say they don't shout, your face will even change.
Sure, yes.
Baba, what are you saying?
What are you talking about?
But you know, none of them, they just... it's insane because I'm like, even the natural reaction that comes up when somebody says rubbish.
It's not okay.
It's not even there.
All these careless statements that start to stoke xenophobic attitudes that cause unnecessary arguments it's rude as well. It's just one of those things where just have decorum. Like the word for it is have decorum and a sense of office and dignity. Like these are Africans they are our fellow Africans. Like you say that word, that phrasing has meaning. They are our quote unquote cousins. We share space, we share ideology, we share beliefs, and we also share suffering. Like it's just a weird thing to do, and it's politically foolish.
I didn't even look at it. I just thought it was so foolish for you to. It's I don't know how to explain it. I watched it and I just thought there's a way you will not give a shit about something, that you will say it. And it's just like, so you're mocking us.
Yes.
Like you're just saying, oh, I know the prices are high. And then your but is not, but this is what I'm doing about it. You're basically saying, okay, but at least I'm not beating you.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they always tell women that, oh, the husband is providing Abi. At least he's not beating you. You know, you're suffering in every way, but at least, and I just think, I don't know how you guys are not seeing this thing. This is crazy to me. Anyway, I wish everybody luck. Go and vote too.
Shall we do some dilemmas?
Hello, boys and girls.
Hello, all.
Listen, you're already here.
Exactly.
Look at where you've reached in this episode. You know that you're here. You're not going anywhere. You're going to go to the end. So why not subscribe?
Do the right thing.
Do the right thing.
Do the right thing.
You know the things to do. Why don't you do them? I don't know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
I have one. Starting with, the person calls themselves the beggy friend.
Screaming.
Who says, this is navy blue black tax. Make una help me. Hello, good afternoon to the bounce. I learned about black tax on this podcast and through your advice and the experiences of others. I've set myself free to an extent and set up my siblings and they are doing well. Thank you for your great work. In case you wondered, you're already impacting lives. Another problem, let's call my friend Eno. We come from way back. Her dad is dead and her mom owns a small provision shop. She's a really good friend and is always there for me. She's the type of friend that will go to the village and farm with you. She's too good a friend, but her beggy is too much. I'm an entrepreneur and my business is doing well. I love to plan my finances and budget for any and everything down to ice cream. Mm-hmm. I live way below my income and plan for rainy days. And on the other hand, doesn't plan or save. She touches money well, has a very big bum and always finds favor from men. She lives like a baller and buys beautiful things, whereas I'm constantly thrifting and going for lowest prices. She has older sisters that send her money and supports her even though they themselves are not financially stable. I, on the other hand, am the eldest siblings. I've tried to have money conversations with her, but she hit me with a line that also made me not revisit the topic. Your parents are alive, so you can talk. Mind you, my dad is retired and my mom bills me. She also says you have handwork now, unlike us that aren't good at anything. I hate that she makes me feel guilty about figuring out my finances, but I can't say no because I know she's a great friend and would do the same for me if she had the money. But her beggy lifestyle is affecting my finances. What pushed me to the wall? She called asking to borrow some money, which she doesn't normally pay back until after a really long time or breaks the money when paying back. She sounded unwell, so after I sent the money, I went to visit her in the evening and jammed her eating banana bread, parfait, and one big barbecue fish. Which meal I can't eat randomly. It's weird because now I don't know if I'm genuinely concerned about someone bullying on my finances while I cut my coat according to my size, or I'm just jealous. I can't cut her off because she's a real one, man, but she's destabilizing me. Maybe I'm really jealous. Her clothes are better than mine. I don't own wigs, she does. This is eating me up and I'm already building resentment. Help me, please.
It's your money these you people's money she's using to buy a wig and for her clothes better than you. Because for someone to not have money and to be eating banana bread.
Parfait. And big fish.
As in, normal greedy you are that you had
the normal grill
you
fish.
had starter, you had main, you had desserts again on my money. Do you know, so I don't know, there's a weird thing with this where so what seems to have happened here is that because for me, when I hear this, I keep wanting to ask you, what is the real one she is if she's constantly taking advantage of you? Like, what's inside the real one.
So the thing is that's
actually my own question, genuinely.
She's a good friend, but she's just a debtor. No, hold on. She's a good friend. So that means other
Jola,
things.
she's not just a debtor.
Hold on. So the reason why, when she's a good friend, she just is terrible with money and is involving you in it. No. So there are so what she's trying to say is that, and this is what she did not want, for us to nullify the entire friendship. I'm
not nullifying the friendship, but I want to say that she's not just a debtor or bad with money. She's taking advantage of her. She's taking the piss. Let me tell you something. There's somebody that is telling you that your parents are alive, at least you have, is whining you in a crazy way.
Yes.
And she knows that. So for me, I'm like, but this is also being bad with money is, let's even put that one aside. I'm just saying that this part, I'm not talking about, this part but you know that, okay, I'm the oldest sibling, blah, blah, blah. And that's also part of our friendship.
Yes.
You know the things, but you have no issue taking advantage of me in this area and not even giving me room to feel bad about it. You quickly...
Yes, because the thing is, here's what I think, actually. You're probably right, but here's what I think. I find that with human beings, everybody, the older I get, the less surprised I am at how people try to take advantage. And I don't take that as a representation of who they are completely. Not anymore. When I was younger, I thought everything was just more black and white. The thing is, what Eno is doing is she's whining you to the degree she knows.
Yeah.
If this person that is experiencing this navy blue tax, she said she tried to have a conversation with her about money. And she said, some of us don't know how to do handwork. She said, so thank God you know how to find work. You need to whine the person back.
You need to whine them back.
Because what is happening is that she's taking advantage.
Thank God you have wigs you can sell. Let's start.
So that's what I'm saying in that. What is happening
Thank God you like good things. You love eating parfait, banana bread. So you find ways. Now.
So that's what I'm saying. So the thing is that this person hasn't figured out how to... The friendship is good on all the other front. It's just that this friend knows how to push that button and she's using it. If you put it back, she's going to try and just find another way. Once she finds out that there's no way, mind you, she's just enjoying herself because she's spoiled. Her siblings send her money.
She's spoiled now.
So Eno is just one of the people
that's spoiling her.
If Eno closes the door, she will transfer to another place. The friendship will still continue because I promise you that there are other friends that when she tries to wind them, it doesn't work. Let me not lie to you. The thing about it is you have to understand when you're close to people, you start to understand their temperature and their personality. My mom had a friend who she was constantly amused by how that friend knew how to get her to do. Because my mom is strict though. My mom is a strict babe. And my mom has I call it English coldness. Mm-hmm. She knows how to kind of get people to not want to disturb her.
Yeah.
And English people are really good at doing it. But this my mom's friend. Oh my God. She just knew, and they met when they were 13. So the babe knew how to just get Kemi to do things for her. My mom would just be like, when this woman was coming to her house, my mom would be like, I'm finished. But she's not saying it complaining.
Yeah, she just knows that whatever I don't want to do.
Mind you, it was not only her. This woman knew how to jam her and my daddy's head together. They could not believe it. They knew each other for a long time. This man auntie just come. Before we know it, my dad just realized that, no, wait, what's going on? And when she come back, they'll be like, you're not serious. I say, well, what can I say? My parties, my friends, come on. My friends. And it was just, some people just understand how to, but the thing is that it's inconveniencing you and you feel bad. You are a very careful person. You deprive yourself to an extent. And when you see somebody, I don't think you're jealous of her. I think you're jealous of her ability to live on the wild side.
Honestly, you're jealous of her freedom to do whatever the hell she wants at the expense of everybody else.
Of other people, yes.
Because you know that if you start doing whatever you want, it will affect your siblings. It will affect your parents. Yes. It will affect everybody. And it will affect her and you don't have it in you.
Yes.
She has no quandary with any of these issues at hand. Misha, maybe you're right that it's only this area, but I feel like anybody that's going to take advantage of you in A will take advantage of you.
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
So,
not anymore.
But I just think, you need to kind of nip it in the bud.
Yeah. Because the thing, she has made it clear that this is somebody that will show up for you and do this. So it's not that is unless she writes again and tells us that is contingent on her giving.
Exactly.
So that's when I say she's a bad friend.
So the thing is that
you have to whine her back.
I don't like. Yeah, you have to whine her back.
You have to whine her back
because you do. You really do. Because the thing is, if it wasn't bothering you, you wouldn't have said anything.
Yes.
But it's bothering you, and you kind of need to put a stop to it, because otherwise you start to build up like a small resentment, and those things always flow into everything else. It will scatter you people's friendship, and that'll be the end. But you have to build it back, and because she knows what she's doing is somehow. So when you try and bring it up, she's quickly looking for a way to, turn it around a little bit and make it different for you. So I don't know. Yeah. Personally, I think you need to nip it in the bud. I need to nip it in the bud quite quickly. Okay. What am I reading now? Okay, I'm going to read this one. It's called The Stubborn Babe. Hi, FK Baby and Josie Mama. Please ignore me. Hi, guests in the house. I don't know if it's love, but you guys, please. But I still really, really like this person that I was with.
Okay.
I can't say ex because in the heat of one of our many misunderstandings, he said he never asked me out in the first place. Kai. Anyway, mind you, when we're together, this same person will leave his work and keep calling me whenever I send a message saying I want to take a break. In his words, the relationship wasn't a job that you can take leave. It's been over a year since we ended things and just a few months of not talking. We stopped talking after I patronized his business, and my order of less than a week took almost 3 months to be completed. I asked for a full refund because I was livid at how the entire situation was handled. People said he was intentionally delaying so he could keep talking to me, but I don't see why somebody will risk their business for such a flimsy reason. Last, it was a family member I reached out to so that they would speak to him and send me my refund. According to him, he has a no refund policy. P.S. It is not stated anywhere for customers to see that he has this policy. I still think about him, about how I might have handled some situations in the supposed relationship. He swears I'm so stubborn, and that's the reason that we had a lot of issues. Me, I agree I'm stubborn and I have bad mouth small, but I genuinely think we're just the same, honestly, except he doesn't have bad mouth like me. This thing has scattered completely, and I need to get this guy off my mind. I don't know why it's so hard after all the dramas that keep happening. These events should make me detest him now, but no. First of all, you're not going to get any refund.
Yeah, you're not getting any refund.
I don't get any nonsense refund.
I think the casual nature of the beginning of a lot of relationships boxes women into a corner.
Yeah.
No, it's not people, it's women. It boxes women into a corner because it gets to a point where you start to feel you have all the emotional, sometimes mental and sexual baggage that comes with the relationship. But and you're invested. But whenever there's a small issue, he talks like this is not a real thing. Because there was nothing formal.
And until you have someone who is doing the motions of it when it's convenient, but in a fight will bring up that they didn't ask you out.
Yeah.
But then will act like you're together. And then when it's time to discuss who has the issues, will say, oh, you're stubborn because you don't do this and this in the relationship. But this same relationship that you said that we're not in.
Yeah, I think one thing I really wished I had developed, like when I was single in my 20s specifically, is not being so hung up on not letting a good thing pass you by that I didn't put my foot down.
Yeah.
So a good way to explain it would be you meet someone, you like him, and I hate this word so much, talking. You're talking. You're talking, you're seeing each other, you're talking. And then there's a day you realize, no, this thing is actually a relationship.
Yeah.
It has tipped over. And at that point, you start to apply sunk costs fallacy in your head.
Like we've come this far.
Where you think, what I want is to go to him and to say, what is happening here? And for him to say, you're my girlfriend now.
Like, what do you mean? What do you mean what is happening here?
And then I want to say, no, you didn't ask me. That's
then
okay,
you will
sorry.
now ask him.
You now say, okay, sorry.
And then we'll now not only have established relationship, but have this wonderful story of the relationship.
But so many women are so insecure. Young women are very insecure that they know what they want, but they can't guarantee his reaction.
Yeah.
And so
you keep going in this uncertain...
stringing it along.
You're in this uncertain nonsense. You're not happy with it.
Yes.
You don't like it. It swings up and down because, okay, here's someone that's calling you in the middle of their work day every 2 minutes because they won't talk to you so much. But when fight starts, is that, mind you, I didn't ask you out. So they're whining you just, they're taking you for a ride. And it is at that point that he said, I didn't ask you out, that you would have said, okay, so what are we doing here?
Exactly.
Like, so what do you want? But because you didn't actually want it to end, you wanted that conversation to go a different way.
Yep.
You didn't say it so that it will not be out there. And the reason you're having this, I say it where you've built these castles.
Yep.
In your mind about this person. You've built all of these castles that have all these dreams that honestly they're not real. They're actually not real. But you've built this person up in your mind because of like all these great good moments you had. When you look at it fundamentally, first of all, you said a year has passed, a few months has passed. The person is dragging business matter with you, this one, that one. Like there's nothing you have said that suggests that this is a person that is still interested in you in any way, shape, or form. You didn't even say he's holding on to my order so that he will keep calling me, talking to you. That's not what you're saying. You're even dragging your refund with him. Like, it's not even cute. It's not even a cute situation. Your feelings are there. You like him, but that's all. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
What I want to say to you is that the fact that you still like him means nothing. What it means is that you just still like him. You really wish this would have become something. And that's something you can sit with. My sister, on no account should you carry this feeling and use it to do anything. No. Yeah. Don't even worry yourself.
Not at all.
It's not a great situation. It's not the situation you want. And frankly, he doesn't want anything more out of it. But if you don't want to listen to what I've just said now, which is the sensible part. Sensible part is you have to just sit with your feelings, accept that you still like him and kind of keep it moving.
Yeah.
You can't be ruminating on it all day, every day of what if, nothing, what if nothing, there's nothing there. But if you really want your eye to clear, my second suggestion is go and tell him. Go and tell him that you really feel this was a mistake. This is what we spoke about last week. You fumbled the bag. Go and meet him. I promise you, not even what he says, the manner in which he responds to you.
Yeah, he'll clear your eye like
clear your eye
mad.
Quickly.
Like mad.
You will hate. As it comes out of your mouth, you start wishing you can put everything back. And that's what I can promise you. So that's what I actually suggest. Like if you want this to end quickly, this thing that you're doing, I think you need to just go and tell them. Let him respond to you so that you know. Because no matter what we say in your mind, she's done this thing where, oh, it was her because she's this, she's that, she's stubborn. No problem. So please, as Shebi is holding your money, go and meet him that, you know what? This is actually, like, I still feel this way. I think we should give it another chance. I promise you. You will write back to us. You will still write at the front. So that is my own best suggestion for you. I think this thing is difficult when people still like a person they've ended things with,
yes,
and then you insist that it means something.
Do you know what? Actually, maybe I don't think there's one dilemma I was looking for, but maybe we should continue this conversation. I find that a lot of people who write to us about interpersonal relationships that have soured on the one hand, I can always, like me, we've been reading dilemmas for like 5 years. So I can always see where the actual relationship stopped.
Yeah.
And where they start just telling a story.
Yeah.
So this is where he stopped. Then you have taken on, this is what could have happened.
Yeah.
And you're writing from that perspective.
And then I'll tell you, even in this case, you see this thing about the business, this is actually an irrelevant story.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with anything. Because this is one of those things like adding people to your close friends and posting things for their own sole benefits. What has happened here is, you see this business thing, she is hoping that it is a door for engagement.
Yep.
This thing of I need my refund, blah, blah, blah. It is obvious that he doesn't care. Because if he cared, you would have said, oh, you know, you just told us that you had to call his cousin or whoever to try. So he's not even dragging the matter with you.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I'm like, after you've done all of this, he's not even like, okay, sorry. Nothing. So it's castles in your mind and you have to break them down. It's not a bad thing to still like somebody, but you have to recognize that this is not the universe telling you anything.
Nope.
The universe has kept quiet.
You told yourself
you shouting to everywhere that this is what you want. And personally, in fact, I take back everything I said before now. I think you should go and meet him. And the reason I think you should go and meet him is you need clear evidence that this thing cannot click, because I don't think anyone is going to be able to convince you that what could have been, what is. Go and meet him and tell him that, you know what you really want to is this chance. That's actually what I think you should do. So that my hope is that your eye clears. And please, when it does, do write back.
Yeah, so annoying for you.
No, I'm just saying do write back so we can also console you in that respect, because I don't know what you're looking for. Sometimes you liking someone, it doesn't mean anything.
No, it's just like, oh, I like him.
It's you that likes them.
Yeah.
And I think people have to, I can't remember who else was saying this. I was like, guy, this thing you're saying does not mean a single thing.
Bruh.
Nothing is bringing two of you together. You like her, full stop. Nothing else, like, it doesn't mean anything about two of you being together. You are the one that has the emotions, and that is okay.
Yep.
It's okay, but I just don't want you to deceive yourself into thinking that the fact that you still really like him means that something else should have happened. And that's why I will really, really, really encourage you to go for it.
Okay, I have one here. Belongs.
Okay.
This person calls themselves a concerned listener. Says, hi, Jola and FK. I'd like to share something that I've moved on from emotionally, but I'm struggling to fully process because of how it was handled, not just by my ex, but by his family. I was in a relationship with a man from a very religious background. His father is a pastor, and because of that, I trusted the environment I was in. I believed I was dealing with people who valued honesty and integrity. I was intentional and committed in the relationship. Although I am a virgin and we were not sexually active, he agreed to wait until marriage, which I took seriously. We were in a long distance relationship, so I traveled internationally to see him and invested emotionally in the relationship. I also treated his family with respect. Every time I traveled back, I would buy gifts for his mom just like I would my own. At some point, everything started to unravel. I found out that while we were together, he had been cheating repeatedly, not just casually, but with multiple prostitutes. There was a specific incident where I traveled to see him, and while I was in church on Sunday, he brought a prostitute into the house where we were staying and slept with her. Later, I discovered through his conversations that during that encounter, protection failed, and the woman he was involved with was HIV positive, which led him to start post-exposure treatment. This was extremely alarming to me, especially given the values he claimed to hold. From what I later discovered through his conversations with his friends, because I checked his phone, this behavior wasn't new, and he had been bringing prostitutes into his dad's house while his dad was at church, which made it feel like a deeply ingrained and ongoing pattern. At that point, I decided to leave the relationship. But what made everything even more difficult to process was the role his parents played. Before I found all of this out, his father, who is also my pastor, was actively encouraging the relationship and constantly speaking to me about marriage and the future together. He would talk about integrating me into the family and even mention taking me to their properties and the kind of life I would have with them. This was happening during the same period he was fully aware his son had already gotten another woman pregnant during our relationship, something that was never disclosed to me. Eventually, I ended things. His father then called me to ask what had happened. As he had heard the relationship ended, I explained to him that his son had been cheating, but I didn't go into full details at that point. His response was dismissive. He said things like, "Men these days behave like that," which shocked me, especially considering his role as a spiritual leader. However, I had already made my mind up, so nothing he said changed it. Things escalated when I realized my ex had been misrepresenting the situation to his parents and telling them things that were not true. His father even went to my parents with that version of events. At that point, I had no choice but to fully explain everything to both his parents and mine so that the truth would be clear. Despite all of this, his mother never reached out to me, not once. Now I've moved on and I want nothing to do with him or his family. However, I'm struggling with this. Because my parents still attend that church, his father continues to approach my mom and give unsolicited updates about his children, including the same son who hurt me. My mother has told me she does not ask for this information. He simply brings it up, calls her, and talks about his children's lives. To me, it feels intrusive, manipulative, and confusing. I don't know if he's trying to control a narrative, maintain an image, or simply ignore what happened, but it feels inappropriate given the story and history. So my dilemma is it wrong that I feel deeply uncomfortable and upset about how his parents handled everything even though I've moved on? As a pastor, should his father have acted differently knowing the full truth? And how do I mentally detach from a situation? How do I mentally detach from a situation where people who failed me are still indirectly present in my life through my parents?
There's a lot to unpack.
There's a lot to... I'll start from the back. I'm glad that because the thing is, how moved on can you be if you're still getting information? So the first thing I'm going to say is a little bit mean, but you need to tell your mom that you never want to hear her tell you anything that has to do with those people again. It is disrespectful of your mom to come to you.
I'm actually...
with that information.
Actually, no, I'm wrong. I'm not shocked that they're doing this, but it is kind of crazy to me that your daughter told you that her boyfriend's father has heard that he was bringing prostitutes into their house, got one pregnant because their protection failed, was exposed to HIV, and I ended the relationship all while you people were promising marriage. And I told you, and he said, that's what men do. Now, forget, again, no, I'm not even talking about pastor. For my mom to still be in contact with such a person is crazy. For you to sit down in a church that person is pastoring, not only you don't rate me, you don't rate God, God. You don't rate anybody now. You don't rate yourself. You don't rate anybody, because what mockery is this?
I think the thing is, I'm a preacher's daughter. So there's things about like churches. It's why I'm not a big fan of like highly institutionalized, like big churches, because sometimes the politics of the organization overtakes what they're supposed to actually be doing there. So in this instance, you are supposed to be a rehabilitation center for that boy. That was the plan. So, you know, when pastor was taking you to see, he was trying to entice you.
Yeah, so that you'll be good for him.
So this is the thing, like they know their child.
They know.
And they recognize that, this is a good girl.
This is a good babe. So I needed her to come and sanitize.
This boy. And so that thing of trying to show you the life that you could potentially have was, in the man's mind, he probably had figured that, this girl is probably seeing signs of things that any right-thinking person doesn't want in their life. So by trying to entice you with, if you come, when you join our family, these properties will be yours. This is the kind of relationships you will have. It was to hold you there. Now, the reason I think, personally, with my Okrika psychology degree, what I think that man's dad is trying to do with your mom is, you see, once you leave the fold, you have no obligation to protect them anymore. And so that means you can tell other people the truth of what is going on. And by engaging with your mom, so the thing is, he's actually trying to be your mom's friend. He's just doing it in that stupid, because Nigerians, a lot of older Nigerians don't know how to be friends with people. What they have in common is like, the truth is that, again, if my mom and your mom wanted a closer relationship, they'll talk about us.
Yeah.
That is the normal thing to do. So he's actually trying to become your mom's friend so that your mom is now unwittingly putting pressure on you, because that's his half. Do you understand?
Yeah, like
that's not her friend too. But the thing is that your mom is not strict and your mom doesn't have good boundaries.
She doesn't have any boundaries.
She doesn't have any boundaries. Because the thing is, ideally, he should be too afraid.
That's what I was about to say, that
he should be too afraid.
oh my, as in at which point will you be coming to talk to me when this is what your son did to my child? I just think for me, there's layers of problem. And I'm starting from the back with the problem because the problem that is jamming us at the back is your parents. The stance they're taking is crazy.
I say this thing a lot.
This is the deceit they would have allowed you enter if you married this boy. And they knew. You told them.
I think it's something that we've spoken about so many times on this podcast in passing. And people always say, wahash. One of the biggest problems we have in Nigeria as a whole, particularly with how oppressed a lot of younger people are, is that Nigerian parents don't know how to stand up for their children.
They can't stand on any business. I don't understand.
You'll see stuff like with private universities, like a child will die in the school. The parents that lost a child won't sue the school. They won't fight. Other parents that have their children in the school won't say anything. Like my brother went to a private university where at one point he was suspended for not attending chapel. Right? And the thing that confounded me the most was he wasn't the only one. There were plenty. There were like 50 or 100 of them or something. Plenty students that they suspended. And the stance that the parents took was one of begging and like, or your children, a policeman will verbally, physically, even sexually harass someone's child and the parents will go and beg, or a school will beat a small child to the point of tearing their skin and the parents will just go there and say and not really say much or not do much. There's an attitude in Nigeria where a lot of kids grow up to be people who are constantly taken advantage of because your first backbone wasn't solid. Yeah. And it's an attitude that I've realized
happens. You don't have any issue berating me in public or anything. Yeah. But when it's time to stand up
for me, you don't do that. And it's something that cuts across like our spiritual lives, our education, someone's landlord will be bullying them. You know, your landlord, maybe you live in the same compound with your landlord. Yeah. The parking space you're allotted, the landlord doesn't give you, or he doesn't pump water, or he locks. You know, things that they're bullying you. And you think this person is your parent's peer. So you go home and you say, mommy, this is what your landlord is doing.
They won't do anything.
They won't do anything. And it's just an attitude of cowardice that becomes culture, right? I don't give a damn what kind of pastor. If the only thing I can do, maybe I'm actually a bit of a cowardly person, or I'm not the kind of person that can fight. The very least I can do is I'll leave that church.
So that my child will know that. I'm sorry, how can you be seeing this person every Sunday now? Like, I don't understand.
So that my child know that bad as the bad.
Like, I'm with you
on this one, that you know that my mom is
let's
a bit
just leave. Do you know what? Let's leave them. They can't even fight. I don't want to even drag the matter.
Yes, there's a kindness.
Because look, there is you guys, you weren't sexual assault, so you didn't get anything.
That's what saved
please,
you.
Let us look at a matter where they were having sex and then you didn't know that you were someone who was exposed because they won't talk.
Yeah.
And then let's say you now got, come on.
Yeah, you could have gotten all sorts of diseases.
I'm stunned at that. But let's now leave your parents. The pastor.
But there's nothing to say about that person.
Anyway, the fact that, I don't want to say, but I'm glad that your opinion of the person's father being a pastor was that it would be a safe space. That would not have been my reading of the situation. I never read those situations in that way. In fact, that's where lies. Because look, what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
First of all, that means that your son is not in church. Your son is not in church. So nobody here has any backbone to speak of. The pastor gone, cannot even get their son to not be in church. And then the man that you are with, I don't know. I think you have every right to feel the way that you're feeling about
100%.
It. You did the right thing. The pastor, you are right to think that the pastor as a father, as somebody talking to you, as a pastor, everything is wrong.
Let me tell you what I think. I think you need to tell your parents that you're really disappointed in how they handle things
tell them.
And why. Explain it to them. Not in a way, you're not even, like they can do what they want to do. They're also
scolding them, you're just explaining that. Do you realize that you continuing to fraternize with these people who would not have cared if this went on for long and they actually put my whole life in jeopardy.
It also misrepresents you to other people, because what happens is, if something goes wrong in a relationship and your parents are still in the church,
nobody will think it's that bad.
Nobody thinks it's that bad. And also it's a judgment, like it's almost like a judgment on you. Because it's whatever that...
Like my parents are still happy to be here.
So there'll be amebo deacons or that ask Pastor Kiloshere, whatever pastor tells them, they'll agree with. Do you know why? Because your parents are still in the church.
They didn't see them making a fuss and leaving.
So that's the first thing. And then the second thing really is, this is what I would do. You don't have to. But if I had access to that part, I would also send him a long message.
Yeah.
And say, I found this incredibly disappointing and hurtful. Your family was aware of 1, 2, 3. It wasn't something we were working. So, you know, like how, I don't know if people grew up in sort of like churchy backgrounds, but there's a thing where if a boy is struggling with what they'll call like sexual sin or sexual immorality, the hope is that it becomes almost like a group project, and like the families
will step in.
And he's being... But this is the most positive version, is that he's the one that comes and says, guys, I think I have like a sex addiction and this is what I'm dealing with and what I'm worried about. And I'm trying to figure out how to stop this thing, blah, 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 blah. That is one thing. I'm still not a fan, but that's one thing. In this instance, you are being bamboozled because the family knew what he was doing.
You were actually being bamboozled.
So I would have sent a long text being like, good afternoon, your eminence or your holiness or whatever. But this is how I feel. This is what you did. etc. And I'll say my piece. I don't want to have a conversation. Don't call me. None of that. Like, so if he calls you, you don't need to pick up all that kind of stuff. But I do think a big part of your hurt is actually because of the way your parents are reacting. It's not anything else. Like, I promise you that if your mom had gone to the house, shouted. So there's something about having your ego.
Just also for them having your back. Because part of the questions you're asking is this thing so wrong if I'm the only one reacting like this?
Yeah.
Because it feels like, because even when you went to their own parents, and that's why you're hurt that his own mom didn't reach out, because you're thinking, a woman, I see what your son did, and you cannot even...
but then
I need you to...
I was investing in the relationship.
I was
traveling, I was buying you gifts, calling.
Me, I don't have anything with that. Last, that's his mother.
No, but she can feel somehow. Even as friends, if I do you, but my mommy will call
That's
you.
what I'm saying. But what I'm just saying is, let's even look at the ones we can make progress with.
Yeah.
That his mother, just forget it. She's his mom.
She might also, a lot of them are...
First of all, look at the man she's married to. I need you to know that her problems are so many.
Another thing that we also ignore, a lot of African parents, because somebody sent me a DM last week and said, you guys will talk about Nigerians, please. It's Africans that listen to you, sorry. A lot of African parents don't know how to manage their own shame.
Yeah. So she's ashamed. She can't actually reach out to you because what am I going to say? My son is addicted to sleeping with prostitutes. And I'm so sorry about that. And I'm sorry that we tried to deceive you into marrying this boy, knowing this. I'm sorry that he got somebody pregnant. We didn't tell you. So do you know the mess that you would have gotten in your life if... I'm sorry that we could have, given you an autoimmune disease. They don't give a shit. They don't care. So I think you need to, there's nothing wrong with how you're supposed to be angry.
Yeah.
The processing your feelings, I would honestly suggest therapy. Yeah. I don't know what else.
But you have to say, to a degree, you have to say your mind.
You have to say your mind. You have to say your mind. The thing is, because you seem like a lovely person, yes. I didn't suggest that you give a testimony of how God saved you from this particular, because what would have happened is that you would have given Thanksgiving service, you'd have given a testimony about how God rescued you.
And that's why I'm sad that her mom is not on smoke.
Because it's not you. Your mom would have gone to give the testimony that see what God saved my daughter from. God saved my daughter from. Without saying anybody's name. You won't. So you will just say my daughter, because everybody in the church knows. My daughter, who she was dating, see what happened. I'm telling you that sometimes you have to meet people at their level of madness. They were about to destroy your life. Oh. So your mom will stand up. She will give a testimony in church that thank God she did not marry this boy. See what this one, that one. She will just go and sit down. You won't say anything apart from that. Let everybody do it the way they want to do, because that's the way that people do things. Personally, that is the angle that I think I think everybody should have come from. Is that because since we still want to play church, Sebi is a pastor, no problem. Let's do testimony. Let's do it like that. That's how you will go about the situation. But I'm really sorry that happened to you. I'm very glad you got out like early. You didn't get engaged to the stupid boy. You were not sleeping with him. Yeah. You people were not there.
Up celibacy.
Up celibacy like mad. This is really an advert for keeping it locked in, because see problem now.
I have one final one that I think you would enjoy. Not enjoy, but I think it would be nice to give her some useful advice. This person called themselves head of the Jola and FK cults in the best way possible. God forbid, please. We're not in a cult. She says, "Hi Jola and FK, please, I need guidance because a man has just served me premium breakfast. I met this man on the godforsaken app called Hinge. Never again. In the beginning, he was perfect. Bought gifts, made promises, met my mom, and even booked a getaway for my 30th birthday when I wasn't planning to celebrate. In my head, I was already planning our forever clown behavior, I know. Then one random morning, this gorilla woke up and announced that he's going through a difficult patch, cannot meet me emotionally where I am. Just like that, relationship cancelled. To make matters worse, he broke up with me via text, told me he was moving to another city the following week, and even threw away my things because I refused to collect them out of pure agidi and heartbreak. My dilemma, am I a fool for believing a man who did all of this and still disappeared overnight? And how do you stop the anxiety that comes with turning 30 and feeling like you're running out of time to find the right person? Please help a confused and heartbroken babe. Side note, I love your podcast, and it's one of the only things that puts a smile on my face lately. Myself and my mom listen to your podcast every week during our cooking sessions. First of all, good evening, mommy. Good afternoon. Evening. Good morning, mommy.
Sorry, please. Because of, it's like I didn't hear, because of the question she asked.
Yeah.
Is she a fool for believing the man who did this overnight? Believing that was...
So she had already started to like see...
Yes, no.
A future.
And then because he's a wicked person, he broke her heart.
Yeah, I think
that's the thing is, heartbreak is quite shocking. It's actually what people don't accept is that, especially if you didn't see, like, so there's sometimes that people go out with people that are fools. When you start dating them, everybody will tell you this is a fool. So you go in and at the back of your mind, you know that you're playing a stupid game and a stupid prize is going to be won. You hope that because you're special, you will change. But fundamentally, disgrace is surest. There are things like that where there's some babes that date some guys and I'm like, we all know where this is ending. And so when it comes, it's painful, but it's not a shock. What's happening in this situation is that there's the pain of heartbreak, but she is in abject shock.
Yeah, because another thing is that sometimes there are things that happen that you feel so crazy. You start gaslighting yourself.
You start gaslighting. You can't believe it.
You can't believe it. So you start retelling the story. So for instance, you start looking for when he was
when he was doing all these things.
You start reading the text and looking for when he wrote
was I deceived?
When he wrote lol,
you know,
when
asking
he was joking.
Yourself, did I make this up?
Did I make it up? But he said this thing to me. Now, did he say it?
Like even the things that I threw away, how did they get there? Did I force him?
Thank you. So you start to really play with your mind in that way.
Yeah.
And you're not foolish.
Yeah, no, honestly, it sounds like, again, it's just wicked. He was cruel, horrible. And he broke your heart. And he broke your heart in an awful way.
So,
he was just horrible.
First of all, he sent a text, then he was moving to another city, then and this is the thing about...
And I want you to realize he didn't just wake up and move to the city on this day.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that he was moving to the city suddenly and he just decided to break up with you. All these things he knew, he had them in mind. He's just the problem is he's a coward.
Yeah.
He's a coward and he can't face it. And so he thought, you know what? In his mind, this was going to happen. But you can't take on like his cruelty as anything about you, which is very, very difficult when somebody is breaking your own heart and they're like, it is a rejection of you. And when you can't even do it with dignity. So honestly, this is just one of these things where he's the one that is the bastard. It has nothing to do with you. But you kind of, it's painful and it's shocking and you kind of just have to like process. I don't know what else there is. But it doesn't make you you're not silly for believing him when there was no sign that he was going to do this to you. Just a nasty bunch, honestly. What the hell?
When they want to be wicked.
Just like, look at this. It's too bad now. You not throw away my things for God's sake.
No, because why I feel for her is, I know this story where it's like, you are like, no, this relationship was real. He just needs to see me.
Yeah.
So when he brings the things to me, he'll be like, baby, I'm sorry.
I made a mistake.
I said you will throw away my load.
There's no even...
I hope your skincare was not there.
That's what I'm saying, that there's not even a closure angle that you can pick up. So honestly, it's just wickedness. And
one of my friends, like older sister, she said that there was one time she was so heartbroken that she would wake up in the morning and start singing CAC worship songs. One me. So she would be crying and singing that she was in such distress that she was singing songs from their grandma's CAC.
No, but honestly,
she was begging God to come and help her.
There's a way Heartbreak would do. You can't see, you can't focus. You have to take leave because you can't.
One of our friends was like he to remind himself, said he never wants to feel like that again. To remind himself, he has a recording of a preacher. Like he actually, this is somebody that is not his bag at all. Started listening to sermons. And at a point, like what the guy was saying was really resonating with him. You could not hear, he was recording it to help himself, like replay and remember. You could not hear him in the background saying, yeah, exactly. Could get at all. He was not okay. At all. So I think sometimes the thing about...
Like sometimes it's like this where it's just huge and it's painful. And honestly, there's the way out is through.
It's through.
And it's not like, this is not, there's nothing. Please. There's nothing...
She has been lamenting.
Sorry, I just want you to know the way the babes in the studio have been relating like crazy.
Brave. She has been breathing.
Let me tell you
she said, Remy, please. She has just been lamenting.
Want to talk, where I see that you are going through
a lot. Sorry, God will see you through.
Maybe you can reach out to her privately.
Yeah, but
no, but for real, honestly, sometimes it's just shit.
Yeah,
like it's just a shitty experience, and you now be thinking, I'm fine now.
He met my mom.
You're not
even talking, mommy. What did you say that day? No, because sorry, this is sorry.
And when people do things like this, you don't get the chance to now have the upper hand.
No, you can't.
Because like they didn't even have a conversation with you where you could talk back to them you say he said this, but I said that. Nothing. He has already said everything. He has finished it.
Do you know how bad it is?
Or you're hoping that when he says come and collect your things, you look so good that day that when you're going to collect, he was not trying to talk to you and you were like I didn't answer him. Nothing for you. He now moved.
Terrible. Some things are so... the mommy thing that I said, I know mommy can never be like that because she listens to this podcast. But I know someone who like gives her parents, like, I mean, now she's married, but when this person that she wanted to marry, when it was coming to the house, she lined her family up. She actually had a family meeting. She said, please, on God, if you people ruin this thing for me, it will not be funny. Because you people like, the family that they want to give tests.
They love nonsense.
Say you love to misbehave. And I actually love this boy. So in everything we do, let's just be guided. But it's true. So, but I don't think that it's whatever thing you're thinking of is not you.
It's not you. Honestly, this is just...
It's a demonic entity.
I'm telling you.
It's a demonic entity.
It's a spiritual problem. Don't worry about it.
But we also didn't answer her second question, which was, how do you... Like, she's 30 and she's starting to worry that she's running out of time to be
So the thing is, it's natural to have like this anxiety, especially when somebody has messed you up in this way. And the truth about it is, which is the awful thing, is that I'm going to say one of these things that always sounds so, but like, to risk love or happiness is to risk just serious heartbreak.
And it's not that part.
Disgrace.
So but her thing is, she's now starting to be afraid she's not going to meet somebody because she's turning 30.
My dear, I don't know what to say to you. I don't know where you live, but the dating pool is not great. Like the situation, frankly, if you are a babe with standards, it's
of
just
any kind.
It's actually not that great. That's just the truth of the matter. And also, I think with a lot of people in good relationships, there's so much time and chance.
It's not so much. It's 100%.
Yeah, there's so much time and chance that people don't recognize. And unfortunately, you cannot really... That's why all these how to walk to attract a man. You cannot really walk. You cannot catwalk your way into time and chance of meeting the right person at the right time with the right situation.
And that they bond with you too.
And they like you as well.
How many people do we know on paper?
Thank you. That even want to. So do you get? There are many people that like. Ideally, nothing should be wrong.
Nothing should be wrong.
But it doesn't click. So the truth with that is that. Again, and it's not just even here. I talk to friends who live everywhere. If you have any standards whatsoever, it's not that easy. But you can't let it be the thing that like...
It can't become your driving force.
It can't be the thing that consumes your life. You also can't deeply dwell in it because last people are still meeting people and it could be you. So you just kind of have to take it for what it is and feel your life in general.
I think another good way to think about it is... to also juxtapose, like, it's not a great feeling to be lonely.
Yeah.
I want a partner. But it is infinitely worse to be in a meh or bad relationship. Infinitely. And that those
you're
things
actually
always
worse off. And it sounds crazy, but you're because you're running mad.
Yeah, and it always also sounds a bit like somebody's trying to... What's the phrasing I'll use? Like they're trying to whine you. They're trying to make you feel better.
It sounds condescending. It's true. Is what it is.
It's like absolutely. It is absolutely true. I empathize because I remember it wasn't panic, but approaching 30 and starting to feel like,
Yeah, because I remember even in the year I turned 30, there were so many like weddings. All my friends were starting to, and so it just kept being like.
I just started thinking
things are looking.
It's looking a bit dicey for me here.
Yeah,
and I now had to like battle that thing in my mind, and I was now determined that because I broke up with somebody when I was 28, and I remember the few people I told that I don't think I want to do this anymore. Let's say I told 10 people, 8 said, but you're almost 30. Legit. They were like, They were like, especially because it sounded like a namby-pamby thing. He was a fantastic human being, absolutely fantastic. The main reasons, depending on your type of personality, did not really have head
you might not think it's that
so deep. A big thing, and I could almost like the TikTok was in my mind though. And I had to actively be like, actually, no, I'm actually going to make sure that I pass this 30 with not a husband in sight. I must make the decision with eyes completely clear. No fear. I must. It's by force now. Before it was, I don't care. But now it's by force. I must not be married at 30 because there is no way I would have been able to separate the voices in my head from the reality of what I wanted.
I think this thing, because I mean, we talk about it a lot. Like, like I said, 30 plus. Some of our friends are single and we talk, it's tough. But the truth is that the time is going to pass regardless.
Yep.
And so you can either lament. And the thing is, there's nothing wrong with wanting a partner. It's good. Love is sweet. That's the truth. You just can't make it like the only thing important in life.
Also, we're now also starting to have friends who regret how many decisions they made in anticipation of love.
That's what I was going to say. So the next thing I will say is anticipating love. Love is very sweet. Like, see, we just came for somebody's wedding now. If it works out, lovely. If I fall in love today, don't worry. I'll be very happy. You people will know. But what I'm saying is, don't now start doing things in... there's a way people behave that we always joke that, okay, you're looking for your husband. You start doing things to try and like...
game the system.
Yeah, to try and like make it. But they're things that are not you. But you're just doing them because it seems like this is what people do when they want to meet people. My only thing will be, there's anxiety in it. You can sit with that. If it gets too much, you can talk to people about it. But I wouldn't just position your life in a way to make this happen because it doesn't even really work that way. at all. I know people that have done all sorts of things to try and eat nothing. Yeah. Meanwhile, people that don't even care. Tomorrow they just step out now. You've met somebody, they've fallen in love. Very irritating things. But it's just like, I remember all these things that people are saying, oh, they don't bring to your house. Let me tell you something. My friend met her boyfriend. She doesn't go anywhere. On Christmas Day, her dad's friend came to the house with his nephew. That is her man to her house. As in,
time and chance.
He brought him to her. Like, he didn't bring it for anything. As the boy came there, they came early in the day, so like other young people coming or whatever hadn't come. So as he went to talk to her dad, his friend, they just left him. And it wasn't even as if it was okay, but they were the only two people there. They started talking, one thing. Now they're still together. So she was like, all this one that everybody was saying, oh, you have to be out there. You have to. This baby lives in Chevron.
It's time and chance.
I'm trying to explain to you that,
it's
like,
time and chance,
let's look at the likelihood of, she doesn't go, I don't know how to explain this. She just go anywhere. She's not just going out. When she goes out, you'll be annoyed because, Kilo Kosi now, what is all this? To her house is where they brought. And it's one of those things that he was in Lagos for Christmas. He lives in America. He never comes.
Hey, blue passport.
Bro, sweet boy like this. He just didn't know what, so he didn't have, like, he was meeting up with friends later. He just said, let him follow his uncle to wherever his uncle is going on Christmas Day. That's how he entered the house. So you can just imagine. So she was just like, all this, that her parents will every day be saying to her, it's December, go out now, do this, do that. And she was like, you see, they brought him to my house. And here, so my point is just, please don't think.
You said that's your portion.
I didn't think, that's what I was going to say, that I don't think anybody is coming to your house. Your uncle probably has bad character. Let me just say the truth. He probably does not know any fine people. Don't worry. But what I'm just saying is you can't game this thing. You have no idea. So just be living your life. And Pele, it's tough. I hope you have like friends to support you in this time of heartbreak. I always find it so funny when my friends are heartbroken.
Of course, because you're a witch.
Because
you're a witch.
Wait now.
She's laughing already. She can't even talk.
Because there's a way they will just message you, oh, hey, what's I have to say? How upset I'll be. But maybe they played what little stupid things would start happening. Okay, yeah, sad. We said let's get back ice cream. That they will now play one song that you people heard in the car somewhere. I said, my dear, so should I tell them to put off?
Yes, if possible.
To put off the music. All of a sudden we can't go to VI. Because of all the memories you had in Onakadesha, we can't pass.
No, legit. Well, I actually feel for you.
I say, oh, should we go to this place? You know, be looking somehow. Say, okay, you guys had a memory. Okay, let's look for somewhere in Ikeja. I hope you don't have any fond memory. It's so funny because everything is a thing. But then, eventually you wake up one day and you'll like, be fine. The only way you'll be okay. Honestly, you'll be okay. That's my only thing to say is I hope you have people that like can
love you.
Yeah, can help you, because otherwise then it's rough. But if you do, you see, like me now, I'm very good with this kind of situation. I will laugh, but I'll be there. Definitely. But now the problem is that's like 30K. Yeah. So that's not the kind of healing we can be doing for you. You manage go slow bunny or can be all this high class healing. It's not possible.
We'll share one scoop of
it's not possible. You have to manage yourself sincerely.
Yeah.
But you'll be all right.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think we're done for today.
I think we are.
This was a good episode. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Answer all the answerables. I really like reading our YouTube comments. Those are fun. I don't actually watch the video. I just go and reading the YouTube comments. So those are fun because people like engaging.
Yeah, I think the comments are very
I really do enjoy it, and it makes me miss like Spotify comments more. It's so sad
because you can see because
people are commenting in real time.
People are commenting at the timestamps.
Yes.
So you would like move through the thing and you could see the different comments on. Anyway.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Eventually, I ended things. His dad then called me to ask, can I continue? This episode of I Said What I Said is brought to you by Carousel Network. We are your hosts, Feikemi FK Abudu and Jola Jolzaye. Our producer is Debbie Romeo. Our production associate is Oreoluwa Anibaba. Our social media manager is Remi Oluwole. Our cinematographer is Divine Nabuko. Our audio engineer is David Kenny. Our camera assistant is Abolade Oluyede. This episode is sponsored by Smirnoff Ice and the difference she makes.